Welcome to Manufacturing Day 2021. I'm Brian Krause, Vice President of the Missouri Chamber Manufacturing Alliance. I'll be your host for Manufacturing Day 2021. We hope today's virtual event, you'll learn about manufacturing careers and be inspired to consider working in manufacturing someday. Throughout the day, we'll be zooming in manufacturers from around the state to take you inside their operations and discuss the awesome careers that they have right here in Missouri. Every 20 minutes, a new manufacturer will discuss with you the innovative products that they make and the great paying careers they have available. During which time, if you have any questions, we encourage you to put them in the Q&A feature in Zoom or type your questions as a comment on Facebook Live. Our team will make sure we get your questions answered by the experts in the room. In our first hour, we will hear from Quaker, PepsiCo, and Nike Air Manufacturing and Innovation. Now, as we start our program, I'd like to introduce Dan Meehan. Dan Meehan is the president and CEO of the Missouri Chamber of Commerce and Industry. The Missouri Chamber is hosting today's events. I'd like to invite Dan to make some opening remarks. Dan, you have the shop floor.
The shop floor. Thank you, Brian. Good morning to everyone on the program. I'd like to welcome you all to our virtual Manufacturing Day event. Who knows, maybe next year we can actually go into the places and making progress against COVID-19. We are expecting thousands of students, educators, and manufacturing professionals from all across Missouri to join for today's event. And we're very excited to be able to share that with you today. As we begin, I want to recognize our sponsoring organizations who are helping to make this day possible. And you can see them on your screen right there. This event is presented by BKD CPAs and Advisors. Our gold sponsors are Missouri S&T, Toyota Missouri, and the Missouri Chamber Benefit Plan. Silver sponsors include Nike Air Manufacturing Innovation, State Technical College of Missouri, and Wipfli Mueller Prost. Our bronze sponsor is Honeywell. Supporter sponsors include the Boeing Center for Supply Chain Innovation at Washington University in St. Louis and Watlow. So thank you very much to all those folks who are helping us present this to you. Those of you who are watching today may wonder why we do Manufacturing Day. The reason is because the manufacturing industry is a huge part of our economy and it's growing in Missouri today. We are a state of makers and builders. Some of the world's most advanced, impressive factories are located right here in Missouri. And when you are ready, we want to encourage you to consider a career in one of those factories in manufacturing and stay right here in Missouri. Here are a few facts to consider. Over the next 10 years, we expect to see a need for 5 million new manufacturing professionals in the U.S. The average production professional in Missouri earns $60,000 per year, and that's a good salary. But the biggest thing to understand about manufacturing is what we're going to show you today, what you're going to see and experience. You're going to see that manufacturing is innovative and high tech. You'll see for yourself in a few minutes when we begin our segments that feature Missouri manufacturers that this is true. Missouri manufacturing has come a long way. Now we need you, the next generation of Missouri makers, to help us go even farther. You are the talent that is key to growing manufacturing right here. So I hope you're impressed by what you see today, and I encourage you to learn all you can about what manufacturing offers and begin considering manufacturing as a future career. Next, it's my honor to introduce our governor, Mike Parson, for a message that he sent us. The governor is a huge supporter of Manufacturing Day, and he asked us to share this video with all of you this morning. So right now, we'd like to cue up Governor Parson.
Hi, I'm Governor Mike Parson. I'd like to welcome everyone to Manufacturing Day in Missouri. Thank you to the Missouri Chamber Manufacturing Alliance for hosting this program today. This is an important day, and I'm glad to see we have thousands of Missouri students with us again this year. Right now, you all are working on your education. That's your job right now. But during Manufacturing Day, we give Missouri students a chance to spend some time learning about the future. Eventually, your time in school will come to an end, and it will be your time to join our Missouri workforce. No matter where you live, there are great opportunities for people like you to make a career and earn a good salary working in manufacturing. We are proud that Missouri is 4th in the United States for new manufacturing facilities. Currently, we have more than 6,500 factories in our state employing more than 270,000 Missourians. And those numbers are on the rise. And as governor, I'm going to continue working to make sure Missouri is a place where the manufacturing sector has everything it needs to be successful so it can continue creating jobs. Today, we're going to explore several amazing factories in our state. We want you to have an inside look at some of the benefits of manufacturing work. I think you will be surprised by what you see, and I hope it inspires you to consider manufacturing as a career. Thank you as well to our industry leaders. With that, let's get this program started. Thank you all. Have a great manufacturing day, and it is an honor and privilege to be the 57th governor of the great state of Missouri. May God bless you, may God bless Missouri, and may God bless the United States of America.
All right. Many thanks to Governor Parson for addressing the crowd with that video. I like to say about the governor, he gets it. He knows what it takes to make sure that not just manufacturing, but businesses thrive in Missouri. Workforce is key. And like I said earlier, you as the future talent are going to be key as we move forward. But I want to let you know that participating in events like Manufacturing Day and learning about manufacturing careers can be a life-changing experience. And I'm really excited about this next segment. We have 6 years ago, we attended Manufacturing Day at Toyota in Troy, Missouri. When we were there, we got a chance to talk to the students who were part of the event. And I'd like to share a short clip from that event 6 years ago, showing someone we met that year.
In high school, I was part of a first robotics team. I was on this team for 5 years. And when I was a part of this team, I always thought, hey, I'm going to go into engineering. And as I learned more about engineering, I was like, you know, this is really cool, but I don't feel like it's for me. I want to get out there and I want to play with the machines. I want to get out there and turn wrenches and fix things, not just design the cool machines. I want to work with the cool machines. I never envisioned myself working in a factory. A lot of my mentors on the robotics team encouraged me to go in this direction. They thought it'd be a great fit and that I could really use my skills. And so this is where I'm at today, and it's really enjoy it.
So that was 6 years ago at Manufacturing Day. And today we're extremely excited to welcome Cameron Klein back to tell us about her career and the journey she's taken and where she's ended up and what kind of opportunities she has found since she was part of Manufacturing Day. Cameron, it's great to see you again, and the virtual floor is yours.
SAG amendment is to equip team members with the training and tools they need to do their job safely. So just like that video said, 6 years ago, I was just starting my career in manufacturing at Toyota, Missouri. A lot of things have changed since then. So since I started at that time, I was an advanced manufacturing technician student. Since then, I was a team member. I went to become a team leader where I worked with 2 other individuals and kind of help them solve problems throughout the day. I'm currently a group leader, so I work with a larger group of individuals and help them solve problems and tackle challenges throughout the day to make sure that we can keep those machines up and running and get good quality Toyota parts. And I'm going to contradict my 6-year-old or 6 years ago self, and I'm actually starting to pursue some directions in some engineering. So I know that's a little bit of surprise, a little bit of contradiction from where I came from, but one of the things that you'll learn as you see these videos today, learning about these manufacturing industries, is that every step along the way, you'll realize that every industry, every manufacturing company is always looking to pursue improvement. They're always looking for ways to make things better. If we did it good yesterday, how can we do it great tomorrow? So I'm going to make a mention to the students as you go through and you see all these fantastic videos from all these different manufacturing companies today. Take a look at the process, see what happens, see all the different individuals involved to make a product that you see at home. If you're at home and you're watching us on Facebook Live or otherwise, take a look around you. You'll see various different things that you've purchased, products, whatnot. Just keep in mind that every single one of those things around you, there were people involved in designing, building, and bringing that to you so you can have that in your hands. And as you go and you see all the items that these different manufacturers throughout the day that are producing, keep in mind that you can be a part of that process. You can be a part of bringing joy to others. You can be part of the problem solving, bringing quality, well-working products to individuals every single day. So as you go through these, look at it from multiple different perspectives. Yes, we're making a lot of fantastic products, but what are those products doing? How are they making people's lives better? And you can get involved with that. And manufacturing is so much more than just making items as well. Like I said, I originally started, I was turning wrenches, and I absolutely love solving problems that way. But there's so much more to it than just that. There's career avenues in any direction imaginable. There's administrative items. They're actually making the products out on the floor. There's my side where I make sure that those machines can still make those products. It's not just a one size fit all. And a lot of the things that are in perspective when people think manufacturing is so much bigger than that. So just as a final reminder, as you go and you watch these videos today and you get these tours, ask questions, look at the processes, and understand how diverse manufacturing is and all the opportunities it has in it. Dan, I'd like to hand it back to you.
Cameron, thanks so much. It's great to see you. And when we had you back a couple of years after the first time we met you to our program at the Renaissance Hotel, it was a fantastic message. And to see your progress over the course of time is just heartwarming. Maybe a question or two. What skill sets are the top ones that you could list that you're looking for, Toyota's looking for in the manufacturing community, so our audience can kind of get an idea on what the market demands?
I would say for any organization, if an individual is looking to do well, you want to have curiosity. That to me is huge. How does that work? How can I make it better? Systems. What do you have that drive? Do you have that? Okay, I see it on the external side. You want to, if there's an issue with the car, do you want to pop the hood? Do you want to know that there's more that goes on beyond the surface? Not just from like the technical side that I'm a little biased there, but just how does this work and how can I make it better? A lot of industries, big in manufacturing, is efficiency. So in order to make things efficient, we're good. How do we become great? And having that curiosity to find those little itty bitty steps to make those incremental changes will make a huge difference. So for me, curiosity, and that also ties into interest in learning. You have to be curious about wanting to learn more. So all these students are already doing a fantastic job in both of those by being curious about manufacturing, joining today, and having that drive to learn more about it. Always learning, continuous improvement is Toyota's way to put it, and having the curiosity and drive to go towards those things.
That's great to hear. And obviously manufacturing, advanced manufacturers like Toyota and many in Missouri are depending on technology. And as the governor said, 270,000 and growing Missourians are working in manufacturing. And one thing we're pushing is a technology alliance that hopefully will encourage people to take a look at those types of fields. In your 6 years, how have you seen the impact of Toyota on Toyota from 6 years ago to now? Has it applied more technology, more advanced, or is it kind of constantly in flux, like you're saying, continuous improvement?
I'm so glad you asked. technology is just always changing. I think we all see that with the phones we hold in our hands. But just over the past few years, Toyota's always been high automation, high technology organization. But just in the past couple of years, we've just got this brand new system in, and it has, I think there's 7 or 8 robots all working in tandem to complete this process for one of our products. And we've had robots working together before, but not quite like this. This new technology we have coming in, it is so incredibly advanced. It's really phenomenal. And as we get those new systems in, I'm really excited to start messing with them, because I'm all about learning new technologies and they can get at those items. So yes, it's always improving. Just looking at some of our more traditional products versus the new stuff we've got coming in, the technology jumps that they've made and the improvements that have happened just from the little systems to systems, phenomenal. I'm so excited to see these new programs come in, and I'm a little partial to playing with robots. So I'm really excited about them.
Well, Cameron, thanks so much. You are just a phenomenal ambassador for Toyota, for manufacturing, and for Missouri. And we appreciate your story and your observations on what's going on in the real world there. So thanks so much for being here today. It's great to see you.
Delighted. Thank you, Dan.
Yep. Now I'd like to turn it back over to Brian Krause, who's going to MC the day. And Brian, I'll give you back the shop floor. How's that?
Hey, thanks, Dan. It's great to have you join us. I remember when we first started Manufacturing Day, we hopped in a van and we traveled the state with our comms team and actually landed at Toyota. So it's great to see Cameron live again in Manufacturing Day 2021. So it's an excellent day, and we're great to have the partners that Toyota brings to the table, and they've been along for the ride the whole entire time. You know, one thing I'd like to say before we get going is this is really brought together by a variety of different organizations that have partnered with us over the last year to really push out the idea of Manufacturing Day. And really, first and foremost, the idea of Manufacturing Day was created by the National Association of Manufacturers, or NAM, over 10 years ago to change the negative perceptions of manufacturing by encouraging manufacturers around the country to open their doors and to allow students, educators, and the general public into the operations to see how U.S. manufacturing has become clean, fast-paced, high-tech, and with great careers, as you just heard from Cameron at Toyota. 2 other solid partners in this effort. The Missouri Department of Elementary and Secondary Education has been really champions for us in helping to get the word out to educators, counselors, and administrators across the state of Missouri to make Manufacturing Day more visible and vibrant. The other partner is Missouri Enterprise, our NIST MEP provider that works with manufacturers every day to improve their efficiencies and the production process. Thank you to NAM, Missouri Department of Elementary Education, and Missouri Enterprise for being valued partners. I also want to thank our local chambers of commerce around the state who have helped to promote this event and for years have rallied around Manufacturing Day. Chambers like the St. Joseph Chamber of Commerce, the St. Charles and O'Fallon Chambers of Commerce, the Mexico Chamber of Commerce, and so many more. They continue to host both live and virtual Manufacturing Day events during the month of October, working with schools to make sure that it's safe for students and manufacturers alike. Local chambers of commerce are the lifeblood of the business community in the towns and cities in which you live. Please get to know these people when you have a chance. And finally, I want to especially thank today's presenting sponsor, BKD CPA and Advisors, for their support. BKD has been a tremendous partner in bringing this event to you today. They help Missouri's manufacturers improve their operations and secure their cyber infrastructures each day. I wanted to take a moment to share a short message from BKD. Then we'll be right back with our first Manufacturing Day tour.
Throughout its history, Missouri has been a manufacturing powerhouse, stoking the engines of American growth. Missouri's manufacturers generated $40.7 billion in 2018, representing 12.8% of the state's output and employing 9.4% of the state's workforce. BKD CPAs and Advisors is proud to be a part of the success of Missouri's industrial sector. Since our founding here in Missouri nearly 100 years ago, BKD has provided manufacturers with sound financial advice and valuable resources to help them make tough business decisions. With 40 offices in 18 states, we have a large footprint, but BKD's heart remains in Missouri. Though businesses have recently faced challenges most have never seen before, Missouri's manufacturers are a bedrock of the state's economic engine. BKD is honored to support Missouri manufacturers as their trusted advisors.
Great. Now it's time to begin our first Manufacturing Day tour. But before we do, I want to make a quick shout out. We have Atlanta High School, East Carter County School District, and New Madrid 7th grade science class in the Zoom. Thanks for showing up. I know there's so many more, and we'll call you out throughout the program. Now let's get started in Columbia, Missouri with Quaker PepsiCo. From soda to chips to rice cakes, chances are you've not only tried one of PepsiCo's tasty products, but you probably have them in your house right now. Let's go inside Quaker's factory in Columbia and learn how the team there converts millions of rice grains into tasty treats enjoyed by people across the country. In just a few minutes, we'll welcome the team from Quaker to answer your questions. As you watch the video, please use the Q&A feature in Zoom or type your questions as a comment in Facebook Live.
Welcome to Quaker. Our site is one of many Quaker food manufacturers in North America, but our site is proudly located here in Columbia, Missouri. At our site, we specialize in the production of the Quaker rice cake. Now, our site makes large rice cakes and small rice cakes, and in some of your favorite flavors such as caramel, chocolate, or cheddar cheese. Our site was built in 1994, and we quickly began production with well over 100 employees. But since then, our site has grown to where now we proudly employ well over 350 talented team members. Though we specialize in the production of Quaker rice cakes using automated, high-speed, and very specialized pieces of equipment, it's really our people that make a difference. All across our site, we have career opportunities in production, warehouse, even in QA and maintenance. And it's our ability to work as a team, uphold the values of the company, and it's our dedication to safety and quality that make us successful in the production of the Quaker rice cake. Now, I told you what we do. Let's take a step inside and see how we do it.
Here at Quaker, the quality of our product is one of the highest priorities. Our talented team members not only operate the equipment, but they also perform several quality checks at each step of the rice cake making process. This ensures that they are being produced to the approved specifications, creating the highest quality rice cakes possible. To produce a high quality rice cake that you love to eat, we start with our primary ingredient, rice. Every day, high-grade rice is delivered to the facility from right here in the U.S. This primary ingredient is what allows our rice cakes to be recognized as a snack for those not only looking for something with a light and crunchy texture, but great tasting too. Here's a fun fact. We use almost 9 acres of rice every single day. Or to think about it in a different way, we use 1 football field of rice approximately every 3.5 hours. That's a lot of rice. After uniquely preparing the rice, we utilize a special machine called a rice cake machine to transform the kernels of rice into a formed, popped rice cake. After being popped, all the rice cakes are transferred to the flavoring room where they become some of your favorite flavored Quaker rice cakes. To make sure each one tastes just like the one next to it, we first have to put the freshly popped cakes in single layers. Next, they go to a piece of equipment that applies just the right amount of either a dry seasoning or slurry, which is a wet seasoning, to the freshly popped rice cakes. Now that the rice cakes have been flavored and quality approved, it is time for the final step, baking them. How else do we get all that great flavor in that cake? This is as close as you can get to what you find on the store shelves, only warmer. Here's a fun tip. You don't have to eat your rice cakes plain or right out of the package. A lot of people put toppings on them, like peanut butter and jelly, cream cheese and cucumbers, peanut butter and chocolate chips, peanut butter and bananas, or even like a pizza. To ensure the rice cakes are as fresh as possible, after baking, they are transferred to the packaging department. There, our valuable team members operate and maintain a series of highly specialized, high-speed, automated pieces of rice cake packaging equipment that will wrap and protect the rice cakes, keeping them fresh and yummy. The rice cakes are first staged within the collating equipment, lining them up so they can be put into groups of 7. These freshly wrapped rice cakes are then transferred across the room to a machine that will insert 2 individual packages into their final bag. At this final manufacturing stage, our team members perform their final quality inspections. Here's our final fun fact. The Columbia manufacturing facility produces enough big and small rice cakes in 1 year to wrap around the earth 7.5 times if stacked edge to edge. After the quality checks are completed, the bags are then put into cases that are elevated overhead and transferred to the warehouse. Then our automated robots stack them onto pallets for distribution all across North America.
Oh, hey, we're back. Hey, just enjoying some of those Quaker rice cakes right now. Now I'd like to welcome Cole Knudsen, Plant Director at Quaker PepsiCo. I invite all our attendees to please use the Q&A feature in Zoom. Type your questions in the comment, Facebook Live. Some of the questions you might start with: what makes manufacturing exciting at Quaker? What makes manufacturing a good career at Quaker? And so forth. Cole, welcome to Manufacturing Day 2021. You have the shop floor.
All right. Hey, thanks a lot, Brian. A special thanks to you and Dan and the entire Missouri Chamber for obviously hosting this event. This is a great opportunity. We feel very privileged to be here with everybody and hopefully make an impact on all those young lives out there right now. I already saw some comments flow through. We love rice cakes as well, so keep those coming. We like hearing those kind of things. So just, you guys saw the video. I hope you guys appreciated that. That's kind of a sneak peek in what we do here at our Quaker site. So obviously we specialize in making rice cakes, and we're very proud of that. It takes a lot of work, but we have some very talented team members that make that happen. And that's what I'm going to talk to you about today. Before I do that, I have just a quick introduction. Again, my name's Cole. I'm the plant manager here at the site. I've worked with Quaker since 2004. I started as an intern back then at another facility, but I've grown to the point where now I'm here as the site director, and I've valued every single minute. Now here's something to think about. When I first started with Quaker Oats, I didn't know anything about manufacturing, and I know you guys are probably thinking the same thing. It's like, man, what's it like? What's it like being on the floor and working with other folks? It is so exciting. What keeps me coming back every day, and for the last 17 years, is the opportunities you guys will have. Every day is different. It's exciting. It's fast paced. You will not sit behind a desk all day long. So if you guys are interested in something within manufacturing, this is the type of place for you. And I would really encourage you guys to think about that. So when you look at all of the opportunities, and this isn't just Quaker, but I'm going to reference a lot of examples for Quaker. But if you guys were considering manufacturing, think about your skills, think about your background and what your skills are. So let's say you like to be hands-on, you like to get your hands dirty, maybe fix things around the house or help your dad, fix the mower, who knows? If that's for you, you'd be very good as one of our frontline operators or even in maintenance. Those two groups work very closely together to work on that equipment and keep it running very efficiently. Let's say you love working with people, as the example. You could be in HR, you can be in our safety department. Let's say that you like chemistry, and I'll be honest, I'm not a chemistry person, but let's say you liked chemistry and understand the science behind the materials. You could start out in QA and eventually get to a research and development group that helps develop brand new flavors for what we would run here at the site. So again, the possibilities are endless. And that's what I'd encourage you guys. You guys aren't just going to come in run equipment, and that's it. And you can start with any type of background. We've had people straight out of high school come into our site and other manufacturers and have a very long, successful career. And that's what I encourage everybody to think about. So our site's been open since 1994, and today we still have people that when the doors opened, they were employed, they came on site, and they are still working here today. And I'm very proud to share that. They've had a long, successful career, and we value them and their experience and what they've been able to provide for the company. It's also exciting when you have family members come in, cousins and spouses and brothers. We have whole families that work here, and it's awesome when that's the case. So we would definitely encourage that. So with that, I don't want to just talk about my own career or just the opportunities. I did invite a few folks that I'm very proud to have share their background, what they do today here at our site, and what it's been like for them working in manufacturing. I have the utmost respect for these folks. They've had great backgrounds, and I'm excited for them to speak a few words for you. Okay, so I'll step off and let them come on.
Hi, thank you for having me here. My name is Brittany, and I am the plant controller here at the Columbia Quaker site. My career here hasn't been nearly as long as Cole's. I've only been here for 5.5 years. My background was in public and corporate accounting. I wanted to get back into manufacturing after having worked in manufacturing right out of high school due to the fast-paced environment. I really enjoy working with all the various people. And whenever I started here 5.5 years ago as the finance supervisor, I was really excited to learn about rice cakes and to have snacks all the time. From there, I moved into the planning department, and I did that for a few years. And that really helped me to understand the overview of how we make our product and how we service our customers and why we do things the way we do. From there, at the beginning of this year, I stepped back into the plant controller position, overseeing the finance department. And we do the accounts payables, we do our receivables, we do payroll, and make sure that we're being compliant, plus all of our financial reporting. What I love about working here, like I said, is every day is something new. I don't have to sit behind a desk all the time, and I get to work with a bunch of different people. One of the things that I'm most proud about is in my time here, I've been able to lead a couple of our employee resource groups, and one of them was dedicated to assisting my fellow colleagues with writing their resumes and improving their interviewing skills. It's really been great to see those fellow colleagues advance their careers as well. Thank you for having me.
Hello, my name is Seren. I've actually been employed here for 16 years. I started out as a frontline operator straight out of high school, came out here and tried to learn every job skill I could out there on the floor, because who knew where that would take me. I didn't know if it can help me out in my career in the future, and it actually did. So I learned how to temper cakes, pop them out, flavor them, and also package this finished product. When the opportunity came about to become a mandarin production supervisor, I went ahead and signed the bid. I interviewed for it, and I ended up getting the position. That has been the best opportunity that I've gotten in my entire life. This career has made me a better person, and now I'm also leading a team of 40+ employees out there on the production floor, and we are making rice cakes and making sure that they go home safely. It's also been a great experience for me because I am now also coaching and trying to lead other team members to become what I have, and hopefully in the future that they become operations supervisors as well, or anything even more in the future. All right, thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Devin Cross, and I've actually been at Quaker Oats for 20 years now. I started here when I was 19, so pretty much right after high school. And of those 20 years that I've been here, I've been in packaging for the most of the time I've been here. And I've been a trainer for about 10 of those years. And being a trainer, any new hires that come in the actual position I work in, I train them in the classroom. And I also train them on the floor just so they can start their careers, here as well. So that's pretty exciting. So I'm actually transitioning into a quality role right now, so QA. So I'm pretty excited about that as well. My greatest accomplishments are we're being selected for a new line startup. So with that being said, 3 of us got actually sent to Europe to run tests on new equipment before it was actually shipped here. So that was pretty cool. The reasons why I like working here, or it's a family environment. I'm actually able to support my family as well. And another thing that's really cool about this place is that you always have opportunities to grow and start your career further here. And with that being said, if you want to do certain things here, Quaker also helps you pay for your schooling as well. So yeah, so I love working here, and I hope you guys have a good day. Thanks.
Good morning. My name is Valerie Phillips, and I support the HR function here at the Quaker Oats facility. I have spent 28 years in PepsiCo. I started my career in Frito-Lay in Southern California. I moved out of that area and came down to, they relocated me here to Columbia, Missouri. So again, this is my 4th facility that I have been here. So I am loving HR. I went to school. I knew exactly what I wanted to do with my career. So again, I want to emphasize how important it is for you to get an education, start your career path, and understand exactly what it is. So my greatest rewards is being in human resources. It's being able to deal with folks and have and assist them with their ongoing developments, and then also the sky's the limit. You know, just because I'm in HR does not mean that I just sit behind a desk every day. I do not. I get out there and I'm fully engaged with the team members in and out of the floor. I know exactly how our rice cakes are being produced. Also a part of the hiring, and to be able to continue to develop team members, promote them from off the floor as far as an hourly. If college is not their path that they want to take, they still can grow a career here at PepsiCo and here at Quaker Oats. So again, I just want to tell you that, you know, continue to focus, continue to make sure that you take the time and the opportunity to be who you truly want to be, and just understand how to define what it is that you want to do. So one of my main things is, I always say, you know, take the time to think about what is it that you want to do when you grow up. And so when I grew up, I said, I want to be in human resources. And with that being said, I'm so glad that I did, because not only has Pepsi as a company been able to help me to create great relationships throughout, but also continue to allow me to develop my skills, my knowledge, and my ability. So 28 years is a long time, but I'm glad that I was afforded the opportunity to be able to continue my career and to continue to grow. So again, thank you for having me.
All right. Hey, you 4, thank you again for your comments, and I appreciate everything you guys have done here. So, hey, Brian, with that, I know we're kind of wrapping up towards the end, but I would take some questions if you had some.
Yeah, excellent, Cole. We do have a couple questions, so I'm going to zoom right into them. Atlanta High School is going to go live with audio. Unfortunately, their video is not working this morning, but Atlanta High, do you have a question for Cole and his team over at Quaker? Cole, sounds like we may be having some audio troubles there.
Hey, you know what? Hey, Brian, I think they were going to ask what my favorite rice cake is. And my favorite is tomato basil.
Oh.
Usually when I open it up, I finish the whole package, and I usually ruin my supper that night. So that's my favorite. That's my favorite flavor. So thanks for the question.
Well, I tell you, these cheddar cheese ones are pretty darn good myself. I like them.
Yep.
So. All right, I see we have another question for Northwestern R1 School District. They're going to go live here.
Okay. Yep, I can hear you.
Oh, we had a question about startup pay at Quaker.
Yeah, you're just asking what the starting wages are? Is that what you're asking about?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, all right. No, that's great. No, that's very appropriate. So Yeah, it's really dependent on the role you come in on. So we have wages that vary. One of our entry level positions with some of the shift premiums is around $20 per hour. And if you're working in maintenance and you continue growing in there, you'll earn up around $35, $36 per hour as well. So depending on the role you take and the department you work in and your background, your wage will vary, but right out of the gate, you'll be around a $20 per hour with the shift premium.
That's really good.
Yeah. Great. Thank you, guys. Great question.
Yeah, Cole, we have South Shelby also zooming in live. South Shelby. Why don't you go ahead and unmute South Shelby?
Yeah, how do you form the rice cakes?
How do you form them? Yeah, so that's in our rice cake machine, and there's a lot of science behind it. And you heard me say earlier, I don't deal with chemistry a lot. So, but ultimately, it's just taking that rice, putting it under all these different parameters, and it pops into that cake. You know what I would encourage you to do, as soon as you get out of high school or as soon as you get out of college, come apply here, and we'll teach you firsthand.
Thanks so much, Cole. It's been great to have you here.
Thanks, Brian. Thanks, everyone.
As we transition to a different side of the state, we're going to move over to St. Charles. I'd like to welcome in Nike Air Manufacturing. They're at the St. Charles facility, and they produce the Nike Revolutionary Air Cushion Soles. It's a tough yet flexible technology that allows athletes everywhere to elevate their potential to new heights. Thumbs up if you wore a pair of Nikes with an air sac cushion, and it's made right here in Missouri. I'd like to welcome the general manager and team leader from Nike Air Manufacturing, Cheryl Rennie, and her team of all-stars from Nike right here in Missouri. Cheryl, you have the shop floor. Welcome to you and your team.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Welcome. I don't know about everybody else, but I'm hungry after watching Quaker. So my name is Cheryl Rennie. I'm the general manager of Nike Air Manufacturing Innovation. We're also known as AirMI. We're located in St. Charles, and I'm coming to you live today from our facility. So we're the team at Nike that develops, engineers, and manufactures the air soles in your Nike shoes. We hope you enjoyed the video, gave you a really quick behind the scenes look at what goes on into making our air soles. So what exactly is Nike Air? Nike Air is a technology that consists of a pressurized air inside a tough yet flexible bag that we call the airbag. It gives athletes and everyday athletes like you a sensation of walking on air. So with every step, that Nike Air cushioning absorbs impact and immediately returns to the original shape to protect the body. And these innovations allow any athlete to perform harder and have flawless comfort. So you can actually see my favorite Nike shoe in my background. It's the Air Pegasus, which has a full-length Zoom airbag that's made right here in our facility. I love that Zoom airbag for the great cushioning that it provides, and I love flowers, so that happens to be my favorite shoe. So a little bit of background on myself and AirMI. So I have actually worked at AirMI for 25 years in different roles, including finance, operations, and manufacturing before becoming the GM. AirMI has been making Nike air soles right here in Missouri for more than 30 years. So today we have over 800 teammates in our St. Charles facility, and we're located in the Missouri Research Park. It takes a huge team of people working together 24/7 to make AirMI successful. So think about people who want to design and make product, our designers and engineers, people who operate the machines, our teammates in production, people who test the product to make sure it's excellent, our quality engineers, people who keep our machines running in top condition, our maintenance techs, people who focus on keeping our team and our facility safe, our environmental health and safety specialists and our security teams, and many, many others like planners, buyers, human resources, IT, finance, many people that help manage our people and our business. So Nike's grounded in making sport a daily habit for everyone. So we make sure to bring that to life in our own AirMI facility as well. For example, our facility has a brand new indoor basketball court and an amazing fitness facility. So during breaks, you'll see our teammates shooting hoops and working out. And with that, I want to hand it over to a few of our leaders to share more about their backgrounds and their roles at ARMI. So over to Dave Smith, Bernie Story, Will Carr, and Colette Kelly. Thank you.
Good morning. Thanks, Cheryl. My name's Dave Smith, Senior Director of Engineering here at ARMI. My degree is in mechanical engineering from Mizzou. I've been with Nike for 30 years. I lead a team of process, equipment, and electrical engineers in St. Charles and around the world who make the special plastic that's formed, that you saw in the video, that's formed into Nike airsoles. It's all part of a process that's at least a generation ahead of anybody else in this industry. I've worked on some amazing products and innovations over the years, and even the air bubbles that you may have seen in backpack straps. My career journey at Nike actually started, I was a machine operator for extrusion. There was only about 5 people here at the time on the weekend. So I've worked in supervision, operations, worked in engineering. I did some consulting work in engineering in China for about 5 years. And I currently lead the engineering professionals here at ARMI and around the world. So in each role, the challenge of our materials and the process continues to be the most enjoyable part of the job. My favorite shoe is the 2017 Be True series of Flyknit Vapor Max. The shoe is not just a symbol of equality. It encompasses Flyknit, airbag dyeing that we do, and the Vapor Max. And we're all developed here at ARMI. And here I got a fun fact for you. Do you know that the visible bubbles that you see on the Nike shoes are actually many layers of proprietary materials? You can only see these layers under really expensive and professional, powerful microscope, but groups of these layers are about the width of your human hair. The ARMI team enjoys working on process and equipment that's so unique to our industry. It takes material scientists, equipment, process engineers, professionals in the quality and data fields, and hard work by the staff, working around the clock, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 360 days a year to keep everything going like a well-oiled machine. Teams here continue to be challenged in delivering the most innovative product to our consumers. Hey, take it away, Bernie.
Thanks, Dave. Hey, good morning, everybody. My name is Bernie Story, and I serve as the Quality Assurance Director here at ARMI St. Charles. I've been with Nike for almost 2 years, and I'm originally from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I have 2 master's degrees, and I'm currently working on my doctorate. I'm also retired military. The military played a significant role in my introduction to quality assurance. Both professions strive for professional excellence and the satisfaction of a job well done. My favorite shoe is the Air Max 2090, which you can see over my shoulder. The reasoning being of the outstanding air cushioning that under the foot helps to less foot stress after a good walk and run. My peers today will speak on the awesome manufacturing work that happens every day at Nike and how we all work together. The role that quality assurance provides helps to drive detailed focuses on the requirements that our internal and external customers, which are you, are completed. Now you're thinking, okay, that's great, but how does quality do that? Well, the quality assurance team ensures manufacturing standards are followed by conducting the inspections of products during and after processing. The lab ensures that all raw materials adhere to the correct specifications. And once all that data is collected, it's statistically reviewed for performance and giving a passed or a failed grade. Some of the academic pathways that can help in your pursuit in the quality profession are engineering, chemistry, business administration, are just a few of the inroads to quality. Critical thinking, problem solving, time management, and also decision-making round out some great skills for you to have as well. The highlights that I love for this job, it provides me the opportunity to help my team and peers grow professionally and to reach their career goals. I'm also a sneakerhead too. Always remember, Nike is constantly striving to innovate, and we're the go-to team to make sure our aerosols keep up with you, the athlete, and your activities and everything that you enjoy every day. Thank you, and please continue to do great things. Now on to Will and Colette. Have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Cheryl, Dave, Bernie, for setting us up Colette and us up, and I both up for success like you do every day. How you doing, everybody? My name is Will Carr. I serve as the production director for Nike ARMI here in St. Charles, Missouri, in the extrusion department. I lead and guide direct an excellent team of operators and salary team members, both in internal and external business. Extrusion is the process of melting plastic and reforming it into sheets and specific forms. As Dave mentioned, it's called TPU, thermoplastic polyurethane, also known as Nike airbags. Now, my favorite shoe, as you can see over my shoulder, are the Air Force Ones. Why? Because they're crispy and cool. But we cannot forget my second favorite, Nike Air Zoom Pegasus, because they're just like walking on air. That's right, Nike Air. As with any, I feel a connection with Nike airbags because extrusion makes the TPU that airbags are made out of. Now, I've been with Nike since December of 2019, but I've been working in manufacturing for 20 plus years. I have multiple degrees, qualifications, and certifications, but what I love the most is leading people and directing Nike's brand goals and objectives. Now, I've learned various business, people, and leadership skills throughout my career. I spent a lot of years in the Marine Corps as a major, and I even spent time with the FBI. I use a lot of these skills every day right here in manufacturing, critical thinking being one of the most important. For example, if we have an extrusion line that goes down for a myriad of reasons, we have to make the right business case, the right business decision in order to ensure that we're hitting our operational goals. I help the team through that, as well as help Dave and Bernie from a qualification or engineering, quality or engineering standpoint, making the right decision day to day. Now, what I also like to tell you that after I left the government services, I started off as a production supervisor, just like you all will. If you take this as an opportunity. I work to understand the business, people, and I develop myself as a leader within a supply chain function, and I slowly start to gain momentum within my career, and promotions of increased responsibilities start to happen. A little tongue-tied, I only had 1 cup of coffee this morning, so let's keep going. All right, now why is production critical here at AirMi? As Cheryl showed you the video in the beginning, you cannot have Nike Air without extrusion TPU. The airbags that my department produces is at the very core of our Nike Air shoe. We are both consumers of the product and customers for our vendors and our material suppliers. What's the best part of manufacturing? It is always changing and challenging at the same time frame. We're always exploring new technology to keep our products on the cutting edge for our customers. And last but not least, there's lots of problem-solving opportunities, as well as finding the optimum processes to drive the right results. Thank you. It's been a pleasure. I'm going to pass it over to my peer, Colette Kelly.
You gotta just love Will's energy, because I certainly do. He helps me a lot. As Will just suggested, that my name is Colette Kelly, and I'm one of 3 production directors. Will is my peer. My favorite shoe is the Nike VaporMax Flyknit 3. And you know what? I could give you some technical reasons, but I won't. They're just really cool and they're comfortable. I have a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering from Missouri University of Science and Technology, where I played on the women's varsity basketball team. I also have a graduate degree in engineering and technology management from University of Dallas. I've only been with Nike for 2 years, but I have over 25 years of experience in manufacturing and operations. As a production director here at Nike, I'm involved with a lot of really cool things: problem solving, strategy creation, project development, project implementation, but most importantly, people development. And when I say people development, I am referring to helping people that work with me succeed in his or her current role and beyond. As a leader, I do what I can to challenge employees and help them grow skills to prepare them for the next level. And in some cases, it's not even in my organization. They can go and they grow beyond the production organization. And lastly, I mentor people that don't even report to me. This is actually the fun part of people development. There are lots of opportunities, as we mentioned, in production beyond just running our machines. People can start off as supervisors and move into higher level roles where they manage other team of technical people or supervisors or operators, or working with support teams to improve our overall performance. Our support teams include planning, engineering, quality, finance, facilities, operations, and a lot more. It obviously takes teamwork to ensure that manufacturing produces products for customers like yourself within the right time frame, at the right specifications, and at the right price. Last but not least, what I love about manufacturing is there's absolutely never a dull moment.
Hey, we got some great questions coming up, and Cheryl, if you're ready, we'll go ahead and pose them to you.
All right.
Sounds good. We're going to go live with Richland R1 School District. Richland, are you on the air?
Hello.
The air bubble in your shoes, are they stress tested?
Are the air bubbles stress tested? Yes, absolutely. We every airbag goes through very rigorous testing, including a stress test. We call it a chem test, but it basically it takes the pressurized airbag and beats it, literally beats it for a certain number of cycles to make sure that the air bubble won't pop. So yes, absolutely are stress tested.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Richland, did you have another question? I thought you might have had two there.
I think that was it.
Okay, awesome. Thanks for joining.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go ahead and zoom in Northwestern R1. They have a live question for you, Cheryl.
Have you guys ever
Wait,
got,
one second.
have you guys ever got to meet any of the athletes you've signed or have signature shoes with?
Yes, actually, a lot of the athletes are involved. Our corporate headquarters is in Oregon, and a lot of the athletes are involved in developing their shoes specifically. But here in Missouri, we do have periodic athlete visits. So we try to focus on local athletes. We've had St. Louis Cardinals, we've had Kansas City Chiefs. We had a local hero, Bradley Beal, who plays for the NBA and actually went to school and grew up in St. Louis. So yes, that's one of the exciting things that we get to do for our teammates is bring in Nike athletes. We love it.
Awesome. I love Bradley Beal.
Amazing.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Excellent, excellent. I think we have one more question coming through, Cheryl. Dusty is out there watching on Zoom, and video is having trouble. There he is. All right.
So we just had a bell schedule change, but my last hour in your intro video, you talked about the air pockets were filled with nitrogen gas, and they wanted to know why nitrogen instead of something else.
Nitrogen is air. It's a clean air. So that's why it's filled with nitrogen.
Excellent. Awesome. Thanks for coming in, Dusty. Appreciate it. Well, Cheryl, we really appreciate all that you guys do day in and day out to make Nike Air shoes for all the students out there, and including myself. And so thank you so much for what your team does. Great insight into where Nike Air manufacturing is and where you're going. Thank you for joining us for Manufacturing Day.
Thank you. Have a great day.
As we move into our second hour of Manufacturing Day, I'll just go ahead and recap a little bit. So I'm Brian Krause. I'm the Vice President of the Missouri Chamber Manufacturing Alliance, and I'm your host for Manufacturing Day in 2021. For this next hour, we're going to see inside Toyota, Missouri, the Boeing Company, and Orscheln Industries in Moberly. Before we do that, I want to do a quick shout out. We have Poplar Bluff Technical Career Building Trades on Facebook Live, Lamothe High School Science class on Zoom, and Mrs. Brumman's third grade class. Welcome to Zoom and Manufacturing Day 2021. We're excited to have you here. As we begin our second hour, I just want to say thank you to our presenting sponsor, BKD CPAs, our gold sponsor, Chamber Benefit Plan, Missouri Science and Technology, Toyota, Missouri, our silver sponsor, Nike Air Manufacturing Innovation, State Tech, Whipfley Mueller Prost, our bronze sponsor, Honeywell, and our supporting sponsors, the Boeing Center for Supply Chain Innovation at Washington University and Watlow. Now let's hear a special message from our gold sponsor, Missouri University of Science and Technology.
Manufacturing in the U.S. is on the rise, and Missouri University of Science and Technology is leading the way. Worldwide, we are seeing the dawn of a fourth industrial revolution, one characterized by highly automated, advanced manufacturing processes that rely on advanced data analytics to achieve unprecedented quality and value. This global transformation requires a new vision for how we educate today's students for tomorrow's challenges. How we prepare the workforce of the future at every level of education, together with Missouri-based manufacturing companies and the state and federal government, Missouri S&T is poised to lead this technological transformation for our state. To create new jobs and economic growth, to inspire new opportunities for innovation and discovery. The fourth industrial revolution is underway at Missouri S&T and is poised to transform our world.
Thank you, Missouri S&T, for helping make this event possible. You know, many of the Nike professionals in the last video actually came from Missouri S&T with an engineering degree. And so we know that you do a fantastic job of preparing the next generation of manufacturing engineers for the state of Missouri. Thank you. As we begin our second hour, I want to remind those for you that are on our Zoom call, please make sure to use the Q&A feature if you have a question in today's speakers that are coming on board, and our team will contact you with a chance to join us and ask your question live during our broadcast. For those that are watching on Facebook Live, please leave us a comment with your question, as well as to like and share out our Facebook Live stream. Thank you. So with that said, we'd like to get on to our next host manufacturer. Does your family drive a Toyota car or perhaps a neighbor? If so, it may have parts that have come from our next manufacturer, Toyota Motor Manufacturing in Troy, Missouri. They make the vehicle motors that built a reputation for technology, leadership, and great craftsmanship with aluminum castings. They produce the cylinder heads or the lungs of what an engine has to power it down the roadway. They are one of the best U.S. manufacturing facilities right here in Missouri. Now let's learn a little bit about Toyota Motor Manufacturing in Missouri.
Welcome to Toyota, Missouri. This advanced manufacturing facility is home to over 900 highly skilled and dedicated team members who make aluminum cylinder heads for every car, truck, and SUV that Toyota builds in North America. You might be wondering, what's a cylinder head? Well, we like to call it the lungs of the engine because it's critical for controlling the fuel and air mixture into the engine, as well as the exhaust from the engine. Now, Toyota, Missouri is one of the largest aluminum casting manufacturers in the world with 600,000 square feet under roof on a 200-acre campus. And while our size is impressive, it's really our people and our technology that are the big deal. Throughout our plant, team members work hand in hand with robots and other automated technology to drive Toyota quality and consistency. But what really makes us a Toyota manufacturing facility is our Toyota Production System, otherwise known as TPS. Our terrific people are highly skilled in the art of built-in quality and just-in-time delivery. So let's go inside and I'll show you what I mean.
To manufacture cylinder heads, we use a low-pressure casting system. The key components of our casting process are dies, which are molds made out of steel, and sand cores, which are molds made out of, you guessed it, sand. These components are designed to create the shape of the cylinder head when we add molten aluminum. The complex shapes in a cylinder head help to make Toyota vehicles more efficient and fun to drive. The first step in our casting process is mixing sand and a binder together. That mixture is pressed into a die and heated, creating an extremely precise, intricate sand shape, the sand core. And here's a fun fact: the sand core is heated to about 280 degrees Celsius, or 536 degrees Fahrenheit. The sand cores get automatically filed down to remove any extra material. They're then sent to the aluminum casting machine via an AGV, an automatic guided vehicle that moves the cores to where they need to go just in time. Our team members load the sand cores into the casting machine. The mold is closed, and liquid aluminum is slowly poured into the cavity. Air fills the pressure chamber from the top and pushes the metal down. Then, the metal flows upward through the stock and into the mold. Water and cooling circuits help to solidify the aluminum. Once the metal is solid, we remove the casting. Fun fact: the casting is so hot, it takes about 30 minutes for it to cool and move on to the next process. To finish the process, we separate the sand from the aluminum. Hammers knock sand out of the casting, and then the excess metal is trimmed away. We then take extra care to separate and recycle the scrap metal and leftover sand. What we just showed you is our typical finishing process. A new technology we've recently introduced to the plant is flexible finishing. This technique incorporates automated technologies and allows us to finish different kinds of parts on the same machines. This flexibility ensures we can better meet our customers' needs. Now, once the finishing process is complete, the aluminum casting is heat treated to strengthen the freshly minted cylinder heads. Another fun fact, each year we use up to 74 million pounds of aluminum. That's equivalent to about 2.3 billion aluminum soda cans. The last step is inspection. Since quality is a hallmark of the Toyota brand, we carefully inspect every single cylinder head casting we produce. In fact, some castings go through an even more rigorous inspection process at our quality control lab. Every month, more than 1,000 castings and dies are sliced, diced, or examined to track down any inconsistencies. Our final fun fact, Toyota Missouri can produce nearly 3 million cylinder heads per year. That's about 9 every minute. That's a lot of cylinder heads. And none of it can happen without the work of our talented and dedicated team members. Toyota's success depends on continuous improvement and respect for people, the foundations of the Toyota way.
So we hope you've enjoyed learning about our plant today. At Toyota Missouri, we're committed to delivering superior quality cylinder heads for the most technologically advanced, reliable, and safe vehicles on the road today. We appreciate your interest. Thanks for watching.
Now, I'd like to welcome Wes Woods, President of Toyota Missouri. Wes, welcome to Manufacturing Day 2021. It's great to have you and the Toyota team a part of our program once again. We started this back in 2015 with you, and we're so excited that you're still with us, driving down the road together. Wes, you have the shop floor.
Do we have sound now?
Yep, you're coming through.
All right, good. Do we have video?
Not yet.
Oh, now I'm prompted. Thank you.
There you are,
Awesome.
Wes.
Good morning, everybody. I hope that you're having a great, engaging manufacturing day so far. I am Wes Woods, the president of Toyota Motor Manufacturing in Missouri, as well as Tennessee and in British Columbia, Canada, interestingly enough. First of all, let me tell you, I think all of our manufacturing partners would say, just as I am right now, that safety is one of the most important values that we have in manufacturing. And here at Toyota, every team member has a safety commitment, and we say it before every single meeting. And this is really no exception here today. So let me tell you, my safety commitment is to always teach every team member the importance of safety through the principles of safety knowledge, safety mind, and safety action. You know, you met Cameron this morning, and you've also heard from many stars already at Quaker and at Nike. And, you know, after all these big stars, I don't imagine you're going to hear much of what I have to say today, but the important point is that you're inspired to consider a career in manufacturing. I'm sure you've heard of Toyota. You already know that we're professional automakers, and we make more than 2 million vehicles here in North America every year. And as the video showed, we make every single cylinder head for every vehicle built in North America. So if you or your family's driving a Camry, I can tell you your cylinder head came from Toyota Missouri, or whether it's a Sienna or a Tundra truck or a Tacoma truck or whatever vehicle you choose, it's manufactured here. As you saw in the video, there's many, many things happening here. It's very complex, high tech, and you heard from Cameron. She told you her story and a lot about what we do here. It's a very interesting job that you can enter in with just a high school diploma or even with higher education. You heard from Nike and Quaker today from many people who are filling many very, very important roles in their organization. And really, it's no different for us here. So today I'm going to offer, in addition to our manufacturing partners, I'm going to add a little different perspective to what I have for you. First of all, the manufacturing career is very, it pays very well, as you heard Quaker say earlier. The benefits are awesome. Here at Toyota, they're in the top 90 percentile in the industry. So it's really great. But let me tell you a little bit about, you heard Cameron's story, how she began. And here's an interesting thing, and that is my story is not much different. I graduated high school, wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do, but my father worked in manufacturing. And the company, local company there was hiring. And he said, hey, why don't you just come take a job in manufacturing until you figure out exactly what you want to do. So I interviewed and I was hired, and I started in manufacturing at the age of 19, cleaning machines. And later I decided to go to engineering school, which I did. I became an engineer. And then, of course, through the course of my career, I was able to grow and join Toyota eventually and grow into the role that I have now as president of 3 of the manufacturing plants here in North America. So the key point that I'm sharing with you today is, in addition to all of the great diverse opportunities that you've already seen, and let me mention this, not just the diverse opportunities, but I'm really struck and encouraged by all of the diversity that I've seen today in these presentations, because manufacturing's for everyone. There's a job for everyone in manufacturing, and we welcome all of you. But let me tell you, there are 2 other presidents that I want to highlight. And these 2 ladies are presidents of our largest plants. We have a plant in Georgetown, Kentucky that manufactures Camry. If you don't know, Lexus is a Toyota luxury brand, but we manufacture the Lexus ES, the Avalon, and some RAV4s in Kentucky. And the president there is a lady who started her career in manufacturing, kind of like I did, just kind of that humble start in manufacturing. And there's another lady who runs our 2nd largest vehicle plant in Indiana, who started her career in the same way. Now these plants, both of these plants have 10,000 people. It's almost a small city, not just a manufacturing plant, but they manage these huge plants. And the one lady at Indiana, she started as a maintenance technician, much like Cameron. And she worked her way, worked very hard. And as I said today, she's the president of that very plant right there in her hometown. And that's a pretty amazing accomplishment. Very proud of them as my peers. And I look up to them, quite frankly, as my peers. So the message that I just really want to share with you today is, not just as you start a career, not only is it a great place to start with good pay and great benefits and, other attributes of working in manufacturing, but it can be a very, very long and fruitful career. As you've heard from some of the other partners today, you heard some of their stories as well as they started out. I was particularly struck by some of the stories that I heard from Nike. So just like, Brian's hungry for Quaker Oats, and now I'd like some Nike Air shoes, some new shoes for running. I hope that you're inspired to maybe have an appetite for Toyota. So thanks for allowing us to join again today, Brian. We're really happy to have started in 2015, and we'll continue to do so. We love this opportunity.
Hey, thanks, Wes. And really appreciate you coming in and zooming in. And did not know about the Canada offerings that you're now involved with. So congratulations on that, working up British Columbia. We do have some questions. If you have a few minutes, we have Nancy, who has a couple questions. We'll bring her live. Nancy, if you want to go ahead and unmute your sound, and you're welcome to unmute your video if you'd like, and you can ask Wes some questions about Toyota. Nancy, we're not hearing you. We see you're unmuted, but we're not hearing the vocals. Okay, so her question is, what is the fastest car manufactured?
Oh gosh, what a great question. But I'm not sure what the fastest one is. I've not driven them all as fast as they can go, and I've not researched that. But you might see the new Supra. You know, the Supra came out as a sports car here a couple of years ago. Toyota was pretty famous for the Supra many years ago, and now it's all back with a new engine, very sporty, very fast. I wish I could tell you that stat, but I can't today. Thanks for the great question, though.
Yeah, appreciate that. And she had one more question, and it really gets to your personal preference on this. What do you like most about making cars, Wes?
Well, that's really an awesome question. For me, it starts with I just love manufacturing. You heard from several people today that said, they manage operations, or they work in operations where they're working with a lot of different people. Problem solving, I love. That's what I do. A lot of the problem solving that I learned through Toyota, I can actually use in my personal life to a big benefit. And so it's really manufacturing that I love. But I had the fortunate opportunity of joining another company, and I'll tell you who it is, Cummins Engine Company, which produces diesel engines in my hometown. That's where I started my career as an engine manufacturing person. And I've just always then loved engines and manufacturing. And therefore, when this Toyota opportunity came along, man, it was a great fit. So that's what I love. I just love engine manufacturing. I did so at the Alabama Toyota plant. And now I'm here in Missouri making heads.
Excellent, excellent. Hey, Wes, we got one group that's going to go on live. Richland R1, I think, is ready to go live. If you want to go ahead and unmute your video and your sound, Richland.
Audio on.
There you go. You're live.
Do you make turbos?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Do you make turbos?
Do we make turbos? Yeah. That's an awesome question. And let me tell you, we do now. As a matter of fact, we just announced a week ago, you might have seen or heard so far, we have an all new Tundra truck that's manufactured in San Antonio, Texas. It's a completely redesigned Tundra with a brand new V6 turbo engine. And we couldn't be more excited. As a matter of fact, we're launching the heads for that turbo engine right now. And Texas will start building those trucks a little bit later this year. So yes, we have that turbo engine, and there's more to come in the future, so stay tuned.
Super cool.
Do you have a Supra?
Wow, I wish I did. Look at me. I'm an old guy. I can't get down that far anymore to sit in a Supra. I probably could, but let me tell you, I drive a Sienna minivan, interestingly enough. I'm 58 years old, and everybody jokes with me that, why are you driving a minivan as an empty nester? And I'm like, man, it's so practical. I can throw my bikes in it. I can haul lumber in it. I can do anything. So I drive a minivan.
Too funny, too funny. Hey, we have one more question, Wes. We have Betty Glasgow from Bolivar Schools. Betty, do you want to go ahead and unmute your video and your sound and ask Wes his last question for the day?
I'm going to let Abby answer that question. She's our student that's watching.
Actually, how common is it for you to have women in your workforce?
I'll start this answer by not as common as we like. And quite frankly, just the history. I've been in manufacturing now for 39 years, and through the history, what I've seen over the years is females are not naturally attracted to manufacturing, or they haven't been in the past. And I'll tell you, that's changing now. It's changing because we have programs like this one, where we can reach families and we can reach students and explain what we do in manufacturing, all the diverse opportunities in manufacturing that are just truly amazing. And certainly within companies like Quaker Oats and Toyota, Nike and Boeing and others that you'll see here today, there's opportunities within these companies, even outside and more broad than manufacturing, right? We're here promoting manufacturing today, but there are not enough females. So that's why we love these opportunities so much, to be able to recruit. So we welcome you and others to visit our companies when it's safe to do so in the future, and please come work for us. We'd love for you to do that.
She's working on diesel mechanic right now. Does Toyota have diesel?
We do not in North America. Great question. That's about the most I'll be able to say about diesel in North America. I'd love to see that myself, but it's okay. You know, if you're working on diesel mechanic, man, that's pretty incredible. You know, we need service technicians as well. We need QC people who can understand engines and work in our QC and quality engineering department and things of that. So it sounds like a good parallel. Thanks for the great question, though. And if I could, I want to go back and thank Nancy for the very first question, although we didn't get to hear from her or meet her on the broadcast here. But Nancy, thank you for that question.
Great. Thank you so much, Betty. And thank you for zooming in, and Bolivar. Wes, you know, really, it's been a pleasure to have you and Toyota on this Manufacturing Day 2021. We're so excited to see you again, and looking forward to seeing that Toyota Tundra hit the roadways. You know, I know it eats up the dirt pretty well, and I wonder how it drives on the highway. So I'll be looking forward to test drive one.
Yeah, YouTube it, go buy one. You can find it out there.
Will do. Well, thanks so much, Wes, for joining us, and thanks for Cameron as well for joining us earlier this morning. Great to have you guys.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
So as we mentioned, Toyota has been really a driver for Manufacturing Day in Missouri since we started, and we're so excited to have them back. Thank you enough for the partnership. It's been great. So as we channel into our next segment, I just want to do a quick shout out. We have a STEM signing day that we do every year with our partners around the state, and we provide scholarships. And so I encourage you to go on to our Missouri Chamber webpage, find out more about STEM signing day, and it'll be coming live here in a couple weeks, and you'll be able to find out more about that application. So if you're a high school senior and really involved with science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, please go online and look to STEM signing day 2022. The website will be live here shortly, and more information about application and how you can apply to get a $1,000 or more scholarship to apply to your 2-year technical college or 4-year college that you want to go to in 2022. So with that, we wouldn't be here without some of our highest flying companies today, and no shorter of that is Boeing. St. Louis is home to one of the world's best aerospace and defense aviation manufacturers that is the creator of the F-15, F-18 fighter jets, the largest dual-engine commercial passenger jet, the 777X, as well as several other types of military and commercial aircraft. Before we go inside Boeing, I want to welcome a special guest today, Mr. Steve Parker, Vice President and General Manager of the Bombers and Fighter Division at Boeing, to discuss with you some of the fantastic products and careers that Boeing has to offer. As we zoom in, Steve, I want to invite all our attendees to please use the Q&A feature in Zoom, type your questions and comments in the Facebook Live, and ask Steve and his team any of the questions that you have about what makes Boeing a successful place to work and a successful product that we see fly around us every day. Steve, welcome to Manufacturing Day 2021.
Well, Brian, thanks so much. Hopefully you can hear me okay. And yeah, happy Manufacturing Day. Great to be here representing Boeing, and really looking forward to some good discussions. Got a couple of cool videos that I'll play in a little while, but let me just start off by just mentioning that Boeing is the largest manufacturer in the state of Missouri, something we're very proud of. We have more than 15,000 employees, almost 16,000 employees here in Missouri, and a number in Illinois as well. 3 manufacturing sites: St. Louis, where we build all of our fighters, some of our advanced aircraft. I'll talk some more of that in a minute. And out at St. Charles, where we do a lot of our weapons, and St. Clair, where we do a lot of subassembly and manufacturing. Yeah, really talented manufacturing team, engineering teams here at Boeing. We assemble, manufacture, deliver a wider range of fighters in St. Louis. So think about the F-15EX, the Eagle II air superiority fighter, in deployment with the U.S. Air Force and many allied air forces around the world. We have the F-18 Super Hornet and the EA-18G Growler for our Navy, critical strike fighters. And again, deployed around the world with Australia and Kuwait. We have the T-7A Red Hawk, brand new training aircraft and training system for the United States Air Force here in St. Louis, as well as from a commercial aircraft perspective, we manufacture the 777X, which is our latest and greatest commercial jetliner right here in St. Louis. Really exciting designs. We brought in a lot of advanced manufacturing techniques. We're really leading the aerospace industry in this realm, coupled in with our digital engineering, how we're actually designing the aircraft, flying the aircraft thousands of times before we lock in the configuration and start to manufacture and produce it at scale. Really cutting edge technology, which we're very, very proud of. All of our aircraft are built with a digital backbone. And what that means is we can keep ahead of the threats that our nation and our allies face from adversaries around the world. Really proud of that. That's something that I know our employees are very, very tuned into. Composites, think carbon fiber, advanced composite materials. We've got a large facility here with autoclaves where we actually make those parts and bake them, again, for a portfolio of aircraft, from our fighters, through our bombers, through our commercial aircraft. And we just completed the first ever last year, the first ever flight of the 777X with our St. Louis made parts. We do all the flight controls and the folding wingtips, something you might see on our F-18 Hornets. We also, our skilled manufacturing workforce also assembles our ground-based training simulators, our flight simulators here in St. Louis. So that's what we use to train pilots here in the US and around the world, again, on our products that I just mentioned. And then, you know, from an innovation perspective, we have our Phantom Works division here in St. Louis, where we're doing it's mostly classified work. I'd say 95% classified work for the US government and various agencies. But they're developing the next generation of aerospace and defense solutions to include manufacturing. And some of the recent programs I can talk about that came out of Phantom Works are the T-7A Red Hawk, a training system and aircraft for the United States Air Force, as well as the MQ-25, which is an unmanned aircraft that we are flying at the moment through engineering, manufacturing, and development, called the Stingray, which is critical for the US Navy in terms of how they're going to refuel fighters off aircraft carriers in the future. Exciting, we're also expanding our St. Charles facility, where our talented manufacturers produce and assemble weapons for the Department of Defense. Not many people may know that. That includes the Joint Direct Attack Munition, JDAM, Harpoon missiles, and small diameter bombs. And just recently, we announced an expansion of our footprint over in St. Clair, where we'll be building that brand new MQ-25 in volume there for the US Navy. And I mentioned before, we also make parts for Chinook helicopters, CH-47 and MH-47G helicopters out at St. Clair, as well as parts for F-18 and F-15. We have a lot of exciting opportunities to come and join our team and help us manufacture these world-leading products here in Missouri. And we're always looking for talented folks to come and join us, particularly, you know, given that, again, we're a large manufacturer here in Missouri. We partner with the St. Louis Community College, something that we're really, really proud of, where we offer a free of charge pre-employment training program that can lead to a career in manufacturing right here at Boeing in St. Louis. It's a 5-week course. We've been operating this now for over 10 years. We've hired close to 1,000 employees, and you know, employees you know, take the pre-employment training, and then they begin their aerospace manufacturing careers. If you do that course, we guarantee you an interview to come and join the Boeing company. So I strongly encourage those of you watching today, if you've got a desire to a career in aerospace, which is just an amazing industry to be part of, please go to stlcc.edu to enroll in that Boeing pre-development training program. And it might just be you helping us beat these products that protect our nation and allies around the world. So without further ado, how about we take a closer look at some of our operations here in St. Louis and meet some of the team.
Hello, everybody. I'm Paisley Matthews, Boeing Vice President of St. Louis Site Operations. I am so happy to be joining you today for Missouri Manufacturing Day. And as Missouri's largest manufacturing employer, we have a lot to celebrate. We support our manufacturers who assemble the most amazing military aircraft right here in St. Louis. So come take a look and see behind the curtain how we assemble these majestic fighter jets. Now that you've seen what we do and how we do it, I would like to introduce you to a few of our teammates. I have the pleasure of introducing Anthony, Tanisha, Josh, and Chuan. These are just a few of the many faces who make our products what they are. And this is their story.
How you doing? I'm Josh. I work for Boeing. I've been for about 3 years. Currently, I'm working on the F-15 line wing shop. I am an assembly mechanic, so I install most of the fuel systems and a lot of the wiring harnesses further down the line, doing a little bit of swedging, doing a little bit of bolting and assembly work, essentially. I went through the program and went through the class. The class was about a couple of months long. They made it really easy. The training was free. Once you get here, they open up the classes to basically learn whatever you want here within Boeing. Boeing managers and everybody around is constantly encouraging for you to constantly excel and go and learn more things. So it's just the atmosphere. You walk in and they want you to do better in life. They want you to go further. Boeing gives us the opportunity to go further into college and further our education on top of all the education that we are provided already that we're here. So that's also just awesome to get basically free college. This is something I've always wanted to do, is build military jets. So I was just like, let me get myself in the door, and now ended up here, and this is pretty much where I wanted to be. They've changed my life, literally. I was in college, not enjoying it too much, but I was pushing through it just because I know where I needed to be. 3 years later, I have a house that I just purchased. I wouldn't have expected to be able to move out of my mom's house at the age of 23.
Hi, my name is Chuan Bonkungu, and I started at the Boeing Company February of 2019. And ever since I came out of training, I've been working in the fairings department on the 777X program. I currently work in the post-drill department, and so we're installing fasteners, doing all the installations of seals and retainers, drain tubes, that type of stuff. I would say the program prepared me really, really well for what I do today. Actually, all the tools that they gave me in the course, I use not even all of them here on the floor. The majority of the time was spent in the workshop, drilling holes, installing fasteners, learning how to do countersink depth, bucking and riveting, all those different things. And that hands-on time that I had really helped me to feel more comfortable that I'd be able to be successful here in the company. The pre-employment training program is free of charge. Boeing is such a great company, and it has such a wide variety of job choices that you can pursue even after you come into the company as an assembly mechanic. So I think it's just a really good gateway to exploring whatever career opportunities it is that you want to pursue in the future. And that goes along with the Learning Together program aspect of it as well. Pursuing your education and having that paid for as well while you're working and making money at the company as well. So I would say working in the manufacturing industry, there's never a dull day. With each day, a new set of challenges may arise, and you're able to work and collaborate with your team, with the engineers, with the other support organizations to reach a certain goal and to make sure that our product is able to be completed on time.
My name is Anthony White. I've been at Boeing for almost 7 years, and I'm an assembly mechanic on the F-15. It's kind of been in our family. My grandpa started in 1966. I have two uncles, one started in the 80s and one in 2009. My uncle told me about the Flow Valley class, and I applied and got in at Flow Valley. I'll kind of give you the basic knowledge of how to do sheet metal, different hole sizes, different click holes, different tools to help you learn the job, and then you learn more as you come into the door. I started going back to school last year and kind of helping because nobody wants to pay for student loans or student debt. So I started last year. It's a blessing to have them be able to take that and pay for all of it, and you don't have to worry about that debt. The people and then the company itself kind of helped me mature as a man here, so kind of helped. Well, I like doing it because I can come down here, I can come in every day, touch the plane. It's a challenge every day because every plane on it, well, at least for the F-15, every plane is different. So every day you're kind of learning something new. Coming in, there's a lot of other things you do, not just manufacturing, but like I said, I'm working on the floor building planes, and then I'm going back to school for engineering. So with me working on a plane and going to school for engineering, it's kind of easier to understand that. So once you get your foot in the door, you can do other things, management, engineering. They have all different types of stuff you can do. So I encourage anyone that wants to come in, they can come in, learn, and move around at the company. I think manufacturing is a good fit because you don't need a college degree, but you need a skill set. You can get your foot in the door, and it's easier to get your foot in the door because we can teach you these skill sets, so it's easier to get your foot in the door, and manufacturing is important because you need trades. You still need trades no matter what. So this is very important.
Hi, my name is Tanisha Owens. I'm a lead assembly mechanic on second shift. I've been with Boeing for 5 years now. I work on the F-18 Super Hornet right here. I help build that. I just sent my resume in because I used to work at the steel company, and then I went in for all their tests. I passed a 10-week program, and now I've been working at Boeing for 5 years. It did so much for me. From learning different tools, learning how to check holes, how to make sure you got good holes, how to make sure your fasteners was right. Oh my God, they just taught me so much that prepared me for when I did come out here on the floor. What we do is very important. Like what I build today can affect the world tomorrow. These airplanes, they can save a life. So at the end of the day, you gotta put your all into the project that you building. It makes me so proud. Even my kids, they're like, oh, my mama built airplanes, she built this. And it makes me feel so good on the inside. I love telling people that I work for Boeing. I would say, don't let nobody tell you what you can't do. Don't knock it till you try it. I promise you, 5 years ago, I would never picture my life being the way that it is now. It might seem hard at first, but I promise you, once you get done with all the hard work, it pays off at the end.
Thank you, Anthony, Josh, Tanisha, and Chuan. What you do every day makes us who we are. Now that you've had a chance to take a closer look at manufacturing and Boeing in St. Louis, I'd like to invite you to join our team. If you're interested, please join our pre-employment training course at St. Louis Community College. You can visit stlcc.edu. We hope to see you here at Boeing someday.
Pretty cool.
Steve, that was awesome to see inside Boeing, and so many exciting career pathways that you have there, and in a great training partnership that you have with St. Louis Community College. We've been there numerous times, and it's just amazing how you put people into training and right onto the production floor. We do have some questions. I want to get those to you before we have to zoom on out. Mr. McCormick, I believe, has a question. M. McCormick, if you want to go ahead and unmute your video and your sound, and we'll go right into your class.
Yes, sir. We are in Westview Elementary School in Neosho, Missouri. I did have a student who wanted to know approximately how many aircraft do you produce a year?
Okay, I think the if I heard correctly, it was how many aircraft per year do we make? Is that correct? At St. Louis?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right now, I think we're running about 60 to 70 a year, 15s, 18s, and T7. I will tell you in 2025, as T7 comes online, we'll be doing about up to 90 T7s a year, 36 F-15s, 24. So we'll be up over 150 a year in the mid-2020s. And those lines are going right through into the early 2030s, and we're continually upgrading them and adding capabilities in. So, yeah, pretty cool right here in St. Louis, the heartbeat of aerospace. Fighter Town, USA is what we call our little St. Louis operation.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. We have another live question, Steve. Amber is ready to go. Amber Southard, if you want to go ahead and unmute and ask away your question. Oh, you got just audio. All right. Go ahead and unmute your audio. Amber, are you still there? Okay, she's having some issues. Her question was, how long does it take to complete an aircraft build? And this may change depending on the aircraft, huh, Steve?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's a good question. Let me see. Now, typically, it's anywhere between 24 months and 36 months. So what I want you to think through here is, what is the longest lead part? So typically, it might be a forging or a piece of a landing gear. So we will start to buy that part from a supplier 24 to 36 months out. When all the parts come to St. Louis for us to assemble and integrate and test and get all the avionics and mission systems in, typically it's around 12 months that we'll assemble the aircraft here. With our new advanced manufacturing on T7, for instance, you may have heard us talking about when we joined the fuselage together on that most advanced training system. In the old days, it would take 18 hours. We do it in 30 minutes now with just some of the new our engineering design and the way we manufacture. So yeah, about 12 months. And let me tell you, it's pretty exciting building an aircraft and birthing it, seeing it come together, applying power on, and then to see it take off for the first time. You just get that you just get that feeling. It's such an awesome feeling for our teams. And yeah, great question. About 12 months here in St. Louis.
Awesome. Awesome, Steve. We have one last school that wants to zoom in, and then we got to zoom on out to our next host. Richland R1, if you want to go ahead and unmute and ask a question to Steve.
If you mess something up on an airplane, you have to restart the whole thing.
Now, Richland, could you repeat that? I didn't quite get you at the start.
If you mess something up on an airplane while you're building it, you have to restart the whole thing.
No, our goal is not to mess anything up, but sometimes mistakes can happen. You might oversize a hole. Typically, our engineering teams will disposition that, and we'll make a correction typically per our engineering processes. I will tell you that we will never fly an aircraft if it's not right. So we've got very, very regimented processes here to include our air crews, our pilots, right through that before we fly for the first time. We make sure that there's no open work, everything's right, and off we go. It's a great question. We're not mistake-proof, but what we try and do is make sure that we learn from anything that that doesn't quite meet the drawing. We learn and make sure that we can eliminate it for the next time. Great question.
What's your most expensive airplane?
I think they're trying to say what's the most expensive aircraft you make, and I have to think it's the 777X.
Oh yeah, our commercial aircraft could be a couple of $100 million. But you know, our aircraft are really well priced in the market. So you know, again, a lot of capability. We're always looking to take our price points down, working with our supply base, bringing in new ways of manufacturing. Quality for us is everything, safety and quality. But yeah, that's why we're selling loads of aircraft out of Missouri. It's because of the great manufacturers and engineers that we have, and the fact that we're pricing competitively, and it's a great product. Thanks for the questions.
Hey, Steve, thanks so much for being a part of Manufacturing Day. We're really excited to have Boeing as a partner. You guys have been just champions for us with Manufacturing Day over the course of the last couple of years, and we really appreciate that. I have the comms. We do have one more last question. It looks like some third graders want to get in and ask you a quick question if you have a second.
You bet.
All right, Mrs. Brumman's class has a question. They won't go live? Okay. There she is. I see her zooming in. Our last question for you, Steve. Mrs. Brumman's class, if you want to unmute your sound and your volume and your video.
All right, Ashton, go ahead. What's your question, bud? You can come up to here so they can hear you. Right here. All right, what's your question?
What do you have built?
Why do we have, I didn't quite catch it. Could you repeat it?
Say it one more time.
Why do you have built?
Why do you build? I think, why do you want to build things? Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, that's a great question, mate. Thanks so much. Well, we want to build our aircrafts because they keep America safe, you know, and they protect our nation. And, you know, they're a generator of peace around the world. So it's good to have, you know, aircraft that can defend us. And, you know, that's what we do. And the team here are very focused on the mission of our Air Force and Navy and across Boeing with the Army and all of our services. That's what we do. And we think it's important work. And my sons are in 2nd grade and 6th grade. And we'd love for you to come work with us in the future and help make those things fly. So again, thanks for the question. And thanks, Brian. Thanks for your support. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely, Steve. Thank you so much for being a part of Manufacturing Day 2021 and being a partner of the Missouri Chamber of Commerce. Great to have you there.
Thanks so much.
All right. Thanks so much to Boeing. Now we're going to go turn into another area of manufacturing, which is based out of Moberly, Missouri. In fact, Orscheln Industries is a family-owned and operated manufacturing firm that actually supplies a lot of the innovative emergency assemblies that you see in the Boeing aircraft, both on the defense side as well as the commercial side. So before we talk to some of those professionals at Orscheln's, we're going to go inside their company right up in Moberly, Missouri. Let's take a look.
Hello, I'm Jeff Jones, President and COO of Orscheln Products, and welcome to our Manufacturing Day. We're happy to have you here today, and I hope you get a lot out of today and you become intrigued enough that you'll pursue a career in manufacturing. Here at Orscheln Products, we offer a wide variety of opportunities for careers, from assembly to welding to robot operation to engineering to HR, sales, marketing, purchasing, you name it. That's one of the things I love about manufacturing, is because you have so many opportunities to grow. I've personally been blessed to have spent most of my career in manufacturing and enjoyed every minute of it. So I feel very blessed with the opportunities that I've had personally. At Orscheln Products, we design and manufacture a lot of different products for a lot of different applications, many of which are safety related. We make products for airplanes, for buses, for trucks, for tanks, for boats, agriculture, and construction equipment. So we make a wide variety of products for a wide variety of markets. So we're blessed with that. And we take great pride in the products that we serve and in the markets that we serve. And anyone who works here could do the same. We're very proud of the products that we make. And we have a lot of fun doing it. We have a family atmosphere that's very team oriented. We keep our employees engaged and involved. As you consider your future, I hope you consider manufacturing as an opportunity. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day with the Orslin presentation.
I'm Bob Orslin, and I'm CEO of Orslin Products. Orslin started with the invention of the over-the-center parking brake, still used today. My grandfather and his brothers were farmers. The business wasn't going so well, and one day a grocer in one town asked them to take some bread to another town. That started Orslin Truck Lines. They had some problems with their parking brakes, and the truck ran into the Missouri River. That caused Al to invent that parking brake. Our current markets are heavy-duty truck, agriculture, construction, aerospace, military, and marine. Our major products are electronic shift controls and mechanical shift controls, FLIs, parking brakes obviously, actuators, control cables, push-pull. It's a controls business, and as it stands, about 80% of those controls are safety critical. Every product that we produce, we treat it like it's going to go in our vehicle. Our kids would be at risk. In some cases, we are driving these vehicles, so we want safety to be number one. There's no way we will ever sacrifice quality for a sale. As part of our vision, our mission, we have to absolutely continue to change and get better. My grandfather and his brothers were willing to take significant risk to build this business today. I'm third generation. We have challenges ahead of us, but we have a team that's willing to meet them. We're about solving problems. So give us those opportunities and we'll do a great job for you.
Orslin Products has designed and manufactured solutions for aerospace and defense for 75 years. Orslin is dedicated to providing the aerospace sector with standard products and custom-designed solutions. Struts and hold-open rods provide superior performance during ground operations. Flight control cables are designed to meet the demanding needs of aircraft specifications and testing requirements. Orslin has a wide range of standard and custom control cables. Many core and conduit combinations are available based on the load and efficiency needed. Metallic and polymer materials are designed with lightweight and long life performance factors in mind. Each push-pull or ball bearing cable is 100% tested according to strict FAA requirements. Orslin designs custom cable and control mechanisms to meet OEM expectations. Our in-house testing lab has wide capabilities such as vibration, extreme temperature, cyclic, and environment. Contact Orslin Products for high-performance value solutions for your defense and aerospace equipment programs.
My name is Sarah Tosin. I like working at Orson's because the people are friendly. The work is not hard. I can walk across the street instead of driving if I wanted to. That's what it.
How many years have you been here?
I've been here 46 years.
What made you stick around for 46 years?
The money's good. The atmosphere is good.
What do you think it takes to be a good employee to work here?
Just doing your work and being here when you're supposed to. You know, not missing a lot of days. And just, you know, participating in a lot of stuff.
Orslin has designed and produced reliable, safety-critical control solutions for OEM commercial vehicles since 1946, leveraging over 70 years of transportation industry experience and success. Today, OEMs are challenged to develop the next generation of zero-emission vehicles. Orslin makes it easy with our proven solutions. Reduce your total cost of ownership with Orslin driver controls, throttles, brake and accelerator pedal clusters, shift selectors, park brake systems, mechanical controls, and coolant fluid transfer tubes. You can use these tested and field-proven solutions for your zero-emission vehicles, reducing your development time. Look to Orscheln for design, testing, validation, and manufacturing to provide comprehensive powertrain solutions for your commercial vehicles globally. Let's work together towards a greener future. Get started at orschelnproducts.com.
What I like about working at Orscheln's is it's a family-oriented business. They really look out for the people. We're not just a clock number. They do a lot of extra stuff to make sure the people are comfortable. I've worked here 18 years. They do promote from within. That's how I got into the supervisor's job that I'm in now. There's 2 other supervisors that has been promoted within, and I think that's a big plus.
Hi guys, welcome to Manufacturing Day 2021. My name's Lindsay Land and I'm the HR recruiter and coordinator here at Orscheln Products in Moberly. Just as Jeff mentioned earlier, we have a ton of great opportunities available here at Orscheln Products. Just as a few examples, some of the current positions that we have open are purchasing manager, warehouse operator, software engineer, manufacturing electrical engineer, assembly operators, expediter positions. The possibilities truly are endless. Even if you're not sure what you want to do after high school, or you don't plan to pursue your education after you get out of high school, we have positions that are available at an entry level that allows you to get your foot in the door at a great company and work your way up from there if you want to. We also have opportunities available if you're home over the summers from college and are looking for a good summer job. We have those opportunities available for you as well. We would love to talk to you about the career options that we have here at Orscheln Products, so reach out if you think you're interested. Have a great day.
Okay, we're back. Little technical glitches there. We're going to welcome Kim Gittimer, Director of Human Resources with Orscheln Industries, to come to you live to share a little bit more about the exciting, fast-paced jobs they have in Moberly, Missouri at Orscheln Industries. Kim, are you in the room?
I'm here. Can you
Hey,
hear
Kim,
me?
you have the shop floor.
Hi, how is everybody today? So we want to talk about a little bit about the openings that we have available in Moberly, Missouri, and it's anywhere from entry level to production to professional jobs in engineering and accounting, as Lindsay had mentioned. Also with me today is our president, Jeff Jones, and our recruiter, Lindsay Land. So we'll all be welcoming any questions that you might have.
Excellent, excellent. Thanks for joining us, guys. So one of the questions we had coming through is what types of we just saw Boeing, what types of the Boeing planes do you have your equipment running in?
Well, that's a good question. I think we're in almost every plane and to some capacity. We're in a lot of the smaller personal planes more than the commercial airlines, but we are in some of the commercial airlines as well.
Okay, and a follow-up question is, this is actually for me. If I'm not mistaken, you produce one of the emergency pieces for some of the bigger commercial planes. Can you describe that turbine emergency piece to me?
Yeah, the ram air turbine release that we provide. Basically, if power is lost in the aircraft, it basically deploys a turbine below the aircraft to allow it to generate enough power to land, to bring down the landing gear to land. It's a pretty cool product.
Awesome, awesome. Hey, and we do have another question coming in. Amber would like to know, what is the starting salary at Orscheln's?
The starting salary for like an entry level assembler operator starts at $14.50, and the scale continues to go up depending on skill level and grade and what position they're interested in.
Okay. And Kim, you have a variety of different positions. So some positions are more technical. Are you hiring any individuals with like a 2-year technical college or community college background?
Yep. We have welders, we have lab tech positions, we have an embedded software engineer position open, we have an expediter, and many entry-level positions in production, just to name a few.
Okay, excellent, excellent. Well, we do have a classroom that's joined us and they want to go live. Atlanta High School, if you want to go ahead and unmute and ask the Orscheln's folks a good question.
Do you have to have a certain GPA or degree in to work there?
It really depends on the field that you're wanting to work in. As far as the GPA, no. But as far as a degree, it depends on what field you're in. So if you're looking for like an engineering position, yes, we are looking for a degreed individual. If you're looking for entry level, say for an accounts payable person or an assembly operator, a warehouse operator, no high school education.
To add to that, we do promote from within, so you could start at an entry level and then, you know, and then work yourself to whatever position you want, which is exactly what I did. So I started at an entry level and now I'm the president.
And I started as a summer temp kid right before I went to college, and I'm the HR director now. I've been here 34 years.
I've been back 4.
But total?
Total, probably 25.
Excellent. And I know Atlanta, as they were kind of zooming out, they asked, what is the starting age for somebody getting on at Orscheln's?
So a full-time position that is going to operate equipment they would have to be 18. We do hire some summer temps that help with cleaning or can do some office work, and the minimum age is 16.
Okay. We have a question coming in from Nicole. She asks, are any parts manufactured at Orscheln for space?
Yeah, it's my understanding we've had some stuff that's in space, but I'm not very familiar with the details, but I do know we have had some product that has ended up in space. Yes, on the rover on Mars, actually.
Oh, really? Oh, cool. Probably a little top secret. Maybe you can't discuss. Well, we have Betty Glasgow from Bolivar. She'd like to go live again with a question for you guys, and we'll go ahead and zoom into her classroom in Bolivar, Missouri.
Hey, Abby has another question here. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we hear you.
Since you guys did say you typically do stuff with diesel, what are the common companies that you do work with, and do you technically have any fields within that work?
What was it?
Can you read?
She does diesel mechanics at OTC, and she's wondering what kind of diesel options you have in your business, and also what trucking companies you supply.
We work closely with Navistar and PACCAR and Cummins. And the transmission people we work with is Allison. So we work with quite a wide variety of manufacturers.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks. So we have another question coming in on the chat box from Liberty Academy. Will from Liberty asks, why do the brakes on a bus have to be pumped up with air? Good question, Will.
Yeah, those are the air brakes that we don't provide.
Not responsible for them.
No. That's a good question.
But you do provide a lot of the emergency brake kits that are on most of the school buses around town, correct?
Correct. Yes. Yes.
Excellent. Excellent. So we have another question coming in. Philip is going to try to zoom in, and we'll see if we can pull him into the Zoom real quick. So just kind of quick for the folks there, do you have different shifts? Do you have the first shift, the second shift, and third shift? We know sometimes manufacturing plants offer multiple shifts to work in. Just kind of curious how it is at Orscheln.
We have a first and second shift that runs Monday through Thursday, and then we have a weekend shift that runs Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
So you work Friday through Sunday or Friday through Monday?
Friday through Sunday. 3 to 12.
And then you have the rest of the week off?
Yeah.
Yes. Unless you're
That doesn't sound too bad.
We also offer a lot of part-time positions. So we have a lot of recently high schoolers that are 18 that will come to work after they get out of school for the day and come work 4 or 5 hours to get some experience, on the Monday through Thursday shift. So we do offer the part-time option too for people that want to go ahead and get out there in the workforce.
Excellent. Thanks, Lindsay. We do have Philip live. Philip, do you have any questions you want to ask Orschelns?
Yeah, I was just wondering if you guys use any CAD or CAD software, and what would be good for somebody to learn if they wanted to learn the basics, because there's a lot of different kinds of software, so it's it's hard to pick which one you should stick with. Like, is there industry standard, or is there something that you guys recommend using when developing?
Good question. We do use a lot of CAD. We use SolidWorks primarily, and then but we use a variety of software for different applications. I mean, like for our equipment and things like that. We use LabVIEW for that.
And one more question: how much do you guys utilize the software before you let's say you're going to make a new product? How much of the software is involved before you actually start manufacturing?
Great question. It's a pretty intensive process of developing particularly a new product. It's a little easier when it's a change to an existing product, but a new product is pretty intensive. It takes quite a bit of time. There's a lot of computer work and analysis done prior to actually making any product, and then it'll be prototyped and tested before, so it may take up to 2 years to develop a product.
Wow, that's a good amount of time for sure. Excellent. Thanks, Phil. Appreciate your questions.
Good questions.
Well, for Orschelns, we're really excited to have you part of Manufacturing Day. I remember going up to Orschelns' facility there in, I believe, 2019 for a live manufacturing event where you had over 200 students from Moberly area high school and middle school coming in to join you that day, which was a really exciting day. So we will get back to live in-person events for sure one day, hopefully soon. And we're definitely looking to be back in Orschelns' neck of the woods in a few short months for sure. Thanks for joining us for Manufacturing Day, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Have a good day.
You too.
Well, we're excited. It's been a great morning. We've had a lot of excellent manufacturers join us. We just got done with Orscheln Industries right up in Moberly, Missouri. Now we're going to go into our third hour of Manufacturing Day. For those that are just joining us, thank you so much. I'm Brian Krause. I'm the Vice President of the Missouri Chamber Manufacturing Alliance, and I'm your host and MC for today. In the next segment, we're going to have Brewer Science from Rolla, Missouri, Watlow in St. Louis, and Hitachi HBB Power Grid right here in Jefferson City. I'd like to do a couple quick shout outs. We have McKinley Classical Leadership High School joining us in the Zoom, Arcadia Valley School District, Mrs. P's class, South Pemiscot from Steele, Missouri, Mrs. Townsend's class, and Mr. Hawkins' class, and so many more. Thank you so much for joining us in Zoom today. Our presenting sponsor for today's segments are BKD CPA and Advisors. Our gold sponsor, Chamber Benefit Plan, Missouri Science and Technology, as well as Toyota, Missouri. Our silver sponsors, Nike Air Manufacturing, Innovation, State Tech, Whipfly, Mueller-Prost. Our bronze sponsor, Honeywell, and our supporting sponsor, the Boeing Center for Supply Chain Innovation at Washington University in Watlow. We're really excited to have these sponsors, and we couldn't do it without them, as well as our key partners, the National Association of Manufacturers, the Missouri Department of Elementary and Secondary Education, as well as Missouri Enterprise, Missouri's NIST NEP Center. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to zoom into Brewer Science for our third hour to kick us off. But I want to remind you, if you're interested in posing a question to the folks at Brewer Science or any of our manufacturers, please make sure you use the Q&A feature in the Zoom, raise your hand so we can call you out and we can ask it live. Or if you're joining us from Facebook Live, please put your comments and questions in the chat box below. And remember, share it out. We want more people to join in the next hour. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to our next exciting host, which is Brewer Science of Rolla, Missouri. Their technology helped revolutionize the microelectronics manufacturing. If you own a smartphone, an iPad, a laptop, a smart television, any device that has a computer chip in it, chances are Brewer Science Technology made that technology possible. And it's happening right here in Missouri. This technology powers our way of life every day. Let's learn more. Let's go inside Brewer Science.
Hello, my name is Ryan Bush-Jost. I'm the Supply Chain Planning and Logistics Manager for Brewer Science.
Hi, my name is Ray Vanoy, and I work in the Analytical Testing Unit.
Hello, my name is Lindsay Rasmussen, and I'm a lab analyst here in the QC department.
And today I'm going to be taking you on a tour of our Vichy facility. This is where we make our leading edge lithography materials.
I test many of the samples that come from the R&D group, and what we're focusing on is trying to characterize the products that the R&D associates are synthesizing so that they are meeting the needs of their customers. The first part in our process involves the submission of samples by research associates. So they will bring a sample to us and submit it, and we are able to find it in our system and determine whether or not we need to test it on a GC or an HPLC or whatever instrument is necessary for the test. So for the sample that I processed, I was able to collect the sample and then further dilute it with a solvent where I'm actually trying to precipitate out the polymer that is in the product in order to protect the instrument. We are trying to analyze a residual analyte or a residual chemical in the product, and the technique that we use requires us to remove the polymer in order to not damage the instrument. So I, in essence, precipitated the polymer and then put the remaining solution on the instrument so that we could analyze it for the residual analyte. So once we report data to the submitters or our internal customers, they then will decide whether or not the material is passing their specifications or the customer specifications. We do not determine in the lab ourselves if the material is good or bad, but the person who is responsible for making the material is going to determine if it's passing or failing.
As raw materials come in, we go through a sampling process. Those materials are then submitted into our quality control laboratory, which we'll look at shortly. They go through a series of testing then before being released for production. After production is done with it, again, samples are submitted into our quality control lab. Those materials are held here in the warehouse area until they are released and ready for shipment.
So here in QC, we receive a variety of samples from multiple departments in the company. Our main customer is manufacturing, so the majority of our samples are coming from that department, but we also receive samples from engineering and R&D. So once we receive the sample, we'll look up in our sample log what types of tests need to be performed on that sample. Depending on what those tests are, it will go either into the clean room or into the lab, or possibly a combination of the two. The main tests we perform are ICP-MS, which analyzes the ions in the sample, so such as how much tin or titanium or silver or any of those metal ions, copper, nickel. We'll look for what the concentration of those are in the sample. Some of the other common tests we do are thickness testing, because the thickness of the material that coats on the wafer is very critical for our customers. One of the other main tests we do is GC or gas chromatography analysis, and that allows us to look at what the actual individual solvents or chemicals are within the sample that we're testing, because it's usually a mix of chemicals. And that lets us know that we actually synthesize the correct material, or that we actually put the correct material in the bottle. So once we're done testing the sample, we'll take the data from whichever instrument we ran the testing on, and we'll input it into our QC database. That database basically keeps track of all the data we generate for a given sample. We'll evaluate it to make sure that is within our passing limits, ensure that nothing looks off or suspicious that may cause a problem with our customer. And then if all the data is passing, that final product will be shipped off to our customer and hopefully to be used in your future computers and cell phones.
All right, so this is our quality control laboratory. As I mentioned before, when materials come in or when they're finished with production, we submit samples into the lab here for testing. They test a variety of physical properties about the material, viscosity, molecular weights, trace contaminants, and that. They also check the physical performance of the materials as well to make sure they conform with our customer specifications. So to give you an idea, some of the detection limits and the quality levels we're looking for here, we're testing trace contaminants and metals down into the parts per billion and pushing into even the parts per trillion range. So to put that in perspective for you, 1 part per trillion would be the equivalent of trying to find 1/4 within the city limits of the city of Chicago. All right, so here we are in front of our production area. This is a clean environment. The cleanliness is a class 100, as we refer to it. So that rating is determined by the amount of particles in the air in 1 cubic meter worth of air. So class 100, pretty self-explanatory, 100 particles of a certain size or larger within that 1 cubic foot of air. To put that in perspective for you a little bit, your general home or that is probably in the neighborhood of 500,000 or greater. So pretty clean environment that we're working in here. Another kind of point of reference for you is a clean room environment where they do open heart surgery is also a class 100. So we're working in that equivalent of an environment. In our production process here, generally we're doing blending processes, purification and filtration on our materials. All of that is done through an automated production process. So we take a lot of the human factor out of there for that and to improve the consistency of our products. All right, so here we are in front of our packaging area. This is where we take the bulk material and we actually put it into the containers that we'll ship to our customers. This again is a clean room area. Where we actually do the bottling is even cleaner than where we manufacture. So it is a class 10 area. Just for reference to what we were talking about in terms of the cleanliness of manufacturing. In this area, along with our manufacturing area, we utilize automation. That automation adds to the consistency. It also helps with the quality of the materials. By being a fully automated process, we take away the human interaction with the product while it is being packaged. That aids in really that quality aspect, because as humans interact with the product, we expel particles from our body, from our clothes, which could be a potential contaminant into the product itself. So the people working in this area, they will wear special clothing, and we have special operating procedures to ensure that we do not have any negative impact on the product as it's being packaged. Here we are in our warehouse area. This is where we store all of our incoming raw materials, all of our consumables, and all of our finished goods once they're through with production. On the other end of the warehouse here, we have our logistics area where we pack materials and prepare them for shipment to our customers.
It's great to see inside Brewer Science and the detail that goes on to producing the different types of polymers that go into the semiconductors and chips. Now I'd like to welcome Tracy Jenkins, Corporate Relations with Brewer Science, and she's bringing her team live from Rolla, Missouri. Tracy?
Good morning. Welcome to Manufacturing Day. I wanted to tell you a little bit about Brewer Science. Brewer Science was established in 1981, and we are excited to celebrate our 40 years in business. Not only do we celebrate the 40 years, but we celebrate being a world-class company, employee-owned, Green Circle certified. We are the first semiconductor company to be B Corp certified, as well as Top Workplace. As Brian mentioned earlier, we are a specialty chemical manufacturer, and our product is used in the technology that you appreciate today, making it smaller, faster, better. Today, we're going to go over 4 areas of manufacturing at Brewer Science. We're going to highlight manufacturing with starting invention, develop, manufacturing, and process improvement. Our first speaker is Jeremy Light. Jeremy is a senior manufacturing manager and has been with Brewer Science since 2001. Then you will hear from Mike Matthews. Mike is the director of manufacturing, and he has worked in many areas of our company during his 24 years. Take it over, Jeremy.
Thank you, Tracy. Welcome everyone to Manufacturing Day. It's an exciting time. Manufacturing is a growing status in the United States. I've been here about, like Tracy said, I've been here 21 years, and as a manufacturing experience I've had here has been a wealth of knowledge for me and to everybody around us. But a little bit about my background, as I manage all the operation of manufacturing, like you see in the video at Vichy and at Rolla, our Rolla site. The first area we want to highlight is invent. Invent is where the ideas begin. Examples: how do we make the next generation of your phone smaller and faster and better? You know, most kids know about the electronics and the phones. Everybody's got those. So we are leading in technology in that business. The next area we'd like to highlight is develop. This area is that turns an idea into reality. Examples are the experience and the testing that goes on here at Brewer. We do that from start to finish. And then after the development's done, the next area is where I come in, is kind of the manufacturing side of it. This is an exciting area that makes the product to be sold. There are many areas in manufacturing. The manufacturing department each play a vital role in getting the manufacturing out the door. To name a few, we do offer us several positions in our building here alone. We start out you can start out as a manufacturing technician. We do promote inside very, very, very highly. We encourage promotions. Senior manufacturing tech. We also offer a senior engineering tech, then an engineering technician as well. We have the scheduler departments that we do, our planning specialists, our shipping and receiving clerks, and our sales support clerks. Brewer offers communication and growth and teamwork as well. It's very critical that we do a lot of teamwork here, and that we offer that communication that just makes things go smoother. We offer interpersonal skills, communication with different personality types, and then time management and verbal and written communication skills. The biggest thing we do here is leadership management. We have team leads that lead our projects. Leads our teams in our manufacturing department and our people management and the people skills. So there's always opportunities to grow in our facility and as we grow as a company together. So next I'd like to introduce Mike. He'll talk a little bit about the processes of manufacturing and the growth in R&D, things like that.
Hi, everybody. So I'm Mike Matthews. I've got 33 years experience in manufacturing, and 24 of them here at Brewer. But the 9 years prior to this, to give you an idea of the different careers you can do in manufacturing. I started out as a shift foreman, and then I was a process engineer, ran shipping and receiving, and I was safety. I went to college after high school, and I got a degree in industrial safety. So I was in charge of safety for 3 facilities in different states. So that was a good opportunity, which also opened the door for me when I came to work here at Brewer. And so at Brewer, I've helped lead the environmental health and safety team, procurement and inventory, logistics, facilities. One of my projects was actually to get that building built that you had the tour with Ryan on just a minute ago. And so that's all these opportunities. The more you're engaged in the manufacturing environment, there's more opportunities that come available to you, and especially at Brewer. And then I ended up where I'm at today as a manufacturing director of manufacturing. So I'm going to talk a little bit about continuous improvement. And a lot of our continuous improvement really comes out of our work teams. Brewer we use lean manufacturing techniques, and ours is really pretty custom. We've taken parts of a little bit of the way other people are successful and kind of plugged them into our own thing, haven't we, Jeremy? Yep. And so what that really comes up with, it enables individuals to come up with proposed changes. So we have 17 work teams across the manufacturing, well, actually the whole operations of the company. And so what comes out of somebody has a proposed change? Well, the customer gets an improved product, first of all. the company gains efficiencies in the process. And so is that a big deal? Well, yeah. I mean, the customer's going to get something that gives them maybe a competitive edge over their competition. By efficiency, maybe we cut 10 minutes off of a process. Well, that makes the value to what we're doing more profitable. And for you, the consumer, when people go to buy something at the store, they're getting something that's faster, especially when it comes to electronics, your computers, you want something faster, more memory, all that stuff that comes with, you want your video games to run faster so you can be sure you can beat your competition online with that. And, but anyway, but being part of a work team, it also gets you some opportunity to interact with other jobs, just like I give you that list of jobs that I had done. So so that there's available, so you might find out you like something in safety or something in shipping. You most likely you get an opportunity in a company like Brewer. You see something you want to like that, you talk to human resources, they line you up, get you on a career path, and you can get into something like that. So anyways, it's just endless of things you can do. And really that's what I've got.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Jeremy and Mike. As you guys can tell from our processes and our continuous improvement, that 40 years of business isn't something that happened by accident or by luck. It happened with our passion, our dedication to courage, courage to challenge, finding creative solutions and taking risks. We are a continuous change. There is not a continuous for us. We are going to continually improve and build on what we are doing now. We think we're great right now, and I'm sure there's always something we can improve on, and we always look at that continuously. It doesn't stop. So thank you for learning about Brewer Science today. I'll send it back over to Brian for questions.
Yep. Hey, great. And thanks, Jeremy and Mike and Tracy, for joining us at Brewer Science. It's a great facility down there with so many awesome careers that you guys offer. We do have one question. What is the most interesting thing that you have discovered at Brewer Science?
So that's an interesting question. You know, we did a lot of interesting things. I mean, the answer here at Brewer is never no. It's always yes. So when we try to we're leading edge, we've got to be ahead of the customer, our competitors, to get the business. So I don't think there's one specific thing to answer that question. It's the answer is always yes. Keep moving forward. Keep trying to fix a problem. Keep trying to develop the new next gee whiz thing and things like that. So really the answer is there's multiple things. You know what I mean? So Brewer Science is never no. It's always yes. Don't ever come to somebody and say no, because we're innovative. So we always create things that are moving faster and moving ahead of the customers and our other competitors.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Excellent. Great answer. You know, one of the questions that came earlier, and I can't remember the student asking this, but they wanted to know if you had any internship opportunities. I think they're from a local to your community college, possibly.
Yeah, I can answer that. We have co-op programs. We have interns. It's a big part of our really how we find new people to come into the company, and it's a win-win for the people that are you're getting to get some money for learning, and it just for us we got a 6-month interview. And but really though, the thing for the people that are involved, they want to go to work here. Once they're here, they want to be a part of this, and it's really pretty cool.
Excellent. And I know you guys always bring in some really good talent. I've had a chance to meet some of your interns, and I know you actually use Missouri Intern Connect, which is a platform that the Missouri Chamber runs for internships and managing that. So really appreciate that support, and hopefully we'll have some interns going your way after they watch this program.
Sounds great.
Excellent. Well, hey, thanks so much, guys, for joining us from Rolla, Missouri at Brewer Science. We couldn't do this without you. And we know you have an event coming up next week live, if I'm not mistaken.
We do, October 15th.
Excellent. So if you want to know more about Brewer Science live Manufacturing Day event, go to their webpage and you can find out live.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Have
Brewer.
a great day.
All right, we're going to transition to our next manufacturer, but before we do, I'd like to thank our gold sponsor, State Technical College. They are a 2-year technical program right here in Missouri. They're one of the leading state technical institutions in the country. In fact, they were ranked best community college in the U.S. for 3 straight years, demonstrating that they truly are the employer's choice and students as well. Let's find out a little bit more about State Tech.
We are State Tech. We are hands-on education. When you choose the #1 2-year college in the country, you know you will be ready for your career. That's why at State Tech we say, from the classroom to your career, we are the employer's choice. We are State Tech.
So if you're a young person looking to get an edge up in life and get a new career pathway, I'd encourage you to look at State Tech. They have some great opportunities right here in central Missouri, but they find students from around the U.S., not just in Missouri. Check them out online at State Technical College. Now we're going to zoom into our next manufacturer. Let's move on to Watlow. Watlow is an advanced company that plays an incredibly important role in society. Watlow's products and services actually use science and involve managing the heat systems inside things like your vehicle, power plants, or maybe even your coffee maker. Let's learn more about Watlow now.
Welcome to Watlow, a St. Louis-based company with 100 years of manufacturing excellence. With 5 advanced technology and development centers, 12 manufacturing facilities, and 3,500 global team members, Watlow is proving that manufacturing is alive and well.
Watlow is the world's leading provider of thermal systems, and really our focus is really to provide the best thermal solutions to the world's leading companies.
And in case you didn't know, Thermal Solutions is all about creating and controlling heat. The kind of heat control that keeps your bird feeders from freezing in the winter, heats up materials that go into molds. It's used to make semiconductors for computers, keeps premature babies healthy, warms the fluid in dialysis machines, makes diesel engines cleaner for the environment, and so much more.
Yeah, Watlow, everywhere you go, from the moment you wake up, we've made heaters for coffee makers, major component for the cell phones, fryers, who doesn't love the French fries, and outer space, just a little teeny tiny bolt that needs to be heated so it can break off and deploy the satellite into space. Who would have thunk it?
Yeah, who would have thunk it 100 years ago when Watlow was pioneering the electrical industry that one day nearly every person on the planet would be affected by that innovation? Today, Watlow's presence in the world is mission critical to our customers, and the importance of what we do is not lost on our team members.
So one of the things we really try to emphasize with our people and our culture is really the purpose of what we do. We say enriching lives through inspired innovation. And so really that is at the heart of our purpose, is really how do we enrich lives through the innovation that our products bring to these markets.
And that ownership of purpose translates into team members who have made manufacturing at Watlow their career.
Yeah, I would say majority of people here at Watlow like what they're doing, and that's why they stay here. So we have a very high success rate of once people are in the door and they've been here 30 to 60 days, they typically don't leave. So we even have the 25-year club, and it's a very large club of people that have been here over 25 years because they come here and they really like it.
I'm Vanya Johnson. I've been working for Watlow for 22 years. When I first came here in 1999, for 2 weeks we stayed in this training cell where you learned everything from the beginning of winding all the way to inspecting. So you learned everything you need to know in them 2 weeks. There was always someone there for you for support.
People are helpful when I started here because even though I have an experience on manufacturing, that's a different ballgame. They orient me on what they are doing, and it's helpful to me to understand what is the product of Watlow. And then I said, I will stay here. This will be my career.
I worked a bunch of jobs around here, and I really needed something like stable and consistent. And a generation ago, this place was still in business. It's still in business now. So as far as like consistency and stability, hard to get much better than that.
So there's a major need for people that are interested in working in manufacturing. That doesn't mean you have to have a 4-year degree to work in manufacturing. We have a lot of examples of people here that started as operators and now they're production team leaders.
So right out of high school, I just started working. I did not go to college. I managed a gas station, I did real estate, and then I got referred here by somebody that I worked with previously. So I've been here 15 years total.
Well, I know when I graduated high school, my mother gave me a choice: is say go out and get a normal job or go to school. And I told my mom I wasn't afraid of hard work. This is what I chose.
When I started here as a basic operator. Within 2 years, I moved up to a lead operator. I became a production team leader. We have this blue culture thing where I tell you what I'm interested in and you give me the tubes and help me to grow in that area. Going back to get a degree in business management, and Wallow pays a certain amount towards that.
I actually went to began at a 4-year college before I went into welding or anything, because that's something they really heavily push for, especially in high school level. I really think they leave out like a trade aspect of working. You can make a perfectly fine career learning a trade, and I know Watlow is very good about really training you up to the skill set that they need and want.
I had a degree in personnel, and at the time I was a restaurant manager working crazy hours and had a 5-year-old, and I wanted a job that was Monday through Friday. I knew what the hours were, and so I started here. The more I worked here, the more I liked it. I liked knowing what my hours were going to be, and I just liked the people.
My favorite part working at Watlow, people are diverse.
I really enjoy the team environment that we have.
Family environment.
It's the people. The people make you want to be at Wallow.
Probably the people.
It's the people. The best part of me working at Wallow, I love the people here and the opportunity to work with people and help them to develop their skills and grow.
And helping people develop their skills and grow is just one way that Watlow is working to change the perception of manufacturing.
I think the real stigma that people have against manufacturing is they don't want to work dirty factory work. I don't know of one single Watlow plant that does dirty factory work. You can come home and on your normal work clothes and not have to change as soon as you get in the door.
Yeah, I think a lot of the stigma around manufacturing is starting to go away because that's not the environment that we're bringing people into now.
Well, I've worked at other factories before, and Watlow is, it's air conditioned out here, so it actually is pretty comfortable.
I think when I first thought about manufacturing, I always assumed that it was in a dark place, hot, cold, and all that, and then I came to Watlow.
Yeah, I expected to come in and for it to be dark and no air conditioning, no heating. I mean, you see the building. It's just a really good place to work.
As you see, manufacturing is a great place to start your career. There is a huge demand within our business, and the great thing is there's unlimited number of possibilities for you to continue to advance your career. We can start you on the shop floor. We have tuition reimbursement, so not only is it a great place to start, but man, it really opens up the door to a lot of possibilities for a career.
Find out more about Watlow, our products, services, locations, and job opportunities at watlow.com.
Wow. So now you got to look inside Watlow. We're going to hear from Nathan Frost, Vice President of Manufacturing for North America Watlow, based out of St. Louis. Before we do, I want to just, hey, if you have questions, please put them in the Q&A feature. If you'd like to go live, we'll unmute your video, and you can ask Nathan directly what's cool about working at Watlow, or what kind of jobs are available, or where did you get started in your career? Hey, that was some exciting, interesting opportunities already presented to you. Let's go in and find out a little bit more from Nathan. Nathan, welcome to Manufacturing Day 2021. Great to have you here.
Thanks, Brian. Thanks all. Happy Manufacturing Day to everyone. As Brian mentioned, I've been with Watlow in a vice president role right now in leading manufacturing for North America. So what does that mean? I oversee all of our manufacturing plants around North America. We also have an equivalent of myself in Asia, as we are a global company now. I've been with the company for 22 years. The last 15 years, I've specifically been focused on manufacturing, and I love manufacturing, which is why I'm talking to everybody today. You heard from the video that Watlow we've got a long track record. 100 years is a heck of a long time for a company to stay in business. And, we are Midwest based. We have our roots in the Midwest. Our corporate headquarters is in St. Louis. We also have a manufacturing site in Hannibal, Missouri, and also Columbia, Missouri. So we started in Missouri and been growing around the world out of the state of Missouri. So, really, why have we been growing? Really, you heard the themes on the video. Our technology is growing, and we're working with world's leading companies now. As we grow the business, it's really around building people from within. And, STEM is such a part of manufacturing nowadays. And so science, again, science, technology, and engineering math is prevalent in the world's leading companies. And you have to be competitive with STEM to be competitive in the world. And, my connection, middle school and STEM, grew into high school and eventually took off to engineering school. And I've applied that in my career within Watlow for the last 22 years. Why I really believe that STEM is such a huge part of manufacturing is because what you learn in STEM, the core fundamentals of it is really problem solving. And so problem solving is so important in any business. And as you could tell from the video, we want to grow people from within. And growing people from within requires training on the job. So we have tuition reimbursement, we have on-site education, we have rotational programs. And we're passionate about growing people, not only people, but our processes and products, the technology in today's factories. You heard from the video, it's not dark and dirty factories anymore. These are, to be an industrial tech business in this world, you have to be clean, bright, energetic. You have to have a lot of technology in the factories. So Watlow, I'm excited that my core fundamental part of my job is to invest in manufacturing to stay competitive in the world, and investment in collaborative robots, automation on the shop floor. We've got tablets and cell phones, and we've got, video systems, virtual reality training, everything in manufacturing. The core fundamentals of teaching people on the job is the fundamentals of problem solving that you learn through STEM. So that's just really some of the themes that came through the video I wanted to highlight, and I'm happy to answer any questions you have today.
Yeah, thanks, Nathan. And we do have a few questions coming on. I know one of the things that really resonated with me is the fact that you believe that manufacturing is a teamwork sport, right? It's a team that actually puts those products into service. And the other thing is that you really promote from within, that you work on developing, the talent of all those around you, regardless if they're working on the shop floor or if they're engineering or in marketing or what have you. So it's great that you do that. We do have a classroom that's zooming in, New Madrid from Southeast Missouri, the 7th grade science class. They'd like to ask a question. Go ahead, New Madrid.
I'll do it again. How many jobs are available at Watlow?
Thanks for your question today. So we've got, hundreds of jobs open around the world. In the state of Missouri, we are hiring very fast in our sites in Columbia, St. Louis, and Hannibal in the state of Missouri. We have dozens and dozens of openings. We're hiring a variety of technician jobs and operator jobs, not only in our Midwest, but around the world. Great question.
Yeah, Nathan, you actually have some production right here near us in Columbia, Missouri. What is produced in Columbia?
Our Columbia site there specializes in the semiconductor market. So you saw on the video the handheld cell phone. Our product in Columbia is used in a variety of different ways. Our product, Thermal Systems, goes into making the computer chips that power the world today. And there in Columbia, Missouri, is our site focused on making industrial systems for that reason.
And then you also have a site up northeast Missouri, if I'm not mistaken, near Palmyra, Hannibal area.
Yeah, in Hannibal. So our Hannibal, Missouri makes large industrial scale heaters. We also make smaller heaters that go into making French fries. And so, if you use, obviously people love French fries. I love McDonald's French fries, I'll admit. Who doesn't? But our industrial heaters go right into McDonald's to make the French fries used around the world. We also make very large scale heaters there, 40, 50 foot long heaters that go into oil and gas to refine petroleum that are used around the world.
Excellent, excellent, Nathan. Hey, one quick question we have coming in from East Carter County, and East Carter County, if you want to unmute and turn your video and sound on and ask away.
How many women have upper management roles in your company?
All right, that's a great question. So yeah, we obviously diversity is so big for us. We have a variety of different roles at the top leader. So our top leadership, we just actually brought in a woman from the outside and our vice president of supply chain. We have promoted from within across our manufacturing sites, women leaders. One of our plant leaders in Hannibal, Missouri is a woman, and she grew from the shop floor as an entry-level operator in production. So, you know, that's a big part of what we want to promote in the world is diversity. That's such a huge part of that. Women bring different thinking, and that's important to have different thinking for a variety of roles around the world.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, East Carter. We have a question coming in through one of our chat boxes. Drew wants to know, do you offer opportunities for high school kids to learn the trade? I guess he's thinking maybe apprenticeships or, you know, even what we saw with Brandon, welding.
Yeah, so we at the high school level, we offer we don't offer the you know, the co-ops or the rotational programs in terms of summer internships, but once you graduate high school, we do. And certainly in you know, once you make that, we can have partnerships for 6-week programs, 3-month programs, on the job training in the summertime, and typically it's right after you graduate high school.
Very cool. Very cool. And I know you mentioned earlier, you know, STEM is a really big, you know, passion for you. And I know it is for the at Watlow. You actually work with educators around the state on STEM curriculum and STEM days. You've been at our STEM day at the Capitol and other events.
Yeah, we do. We have actually a committee that's really some of our brightest, youngest talent in the company is on our STEM committee, and they promote grade school, high school partnerships, and all the way through college in our STEM community, getting out in the universities. One of my most fun jobs I've had is I lead a rotational program for the company, and I go directly to the universities to hire. And I'm just amazed by the talent in today's workforce and in the schools. The technology is they're so bright. And that's one of the funnest part of my jobs is going out to university and hire our next talented leaders of the company.
Absolutely. And it really is the young people that you're zooming in live now, Nathan, with. They are really your talent of tomorrow. And we're so happy for you to be here with us. Well, we have no more questions at this time. We are ready to zoom into our next segment. Nathan, we hope to see some of these students follow their pathway into Watlow. And we know that once they're there, they're going to be taken care of.
Come join us. Love to have you. Happy Manufacturing Day.
Happy Manufacturing Day, Nathan. Have a good one.
Yep, we'll see you.
Thank you. All right, folks, we're moving into our next company that we have coming in, but I want to do a quick shout out for some of the schools that have joined us. Rankin Technical College Advanced Precision Machining Technology Department's live on Facebook. Mineral Area College Advanced Manufacturing is live. Join us for Manufacturing Day 2021. They all help in programs around their region for Manufacturing Day, and they'll be getting back to live soon, I'm sure. Parkway Central, Couch R1, East Carter, which you heard from, Nixa, as well as Monette. The entire high school is in their amphitheater. Come and zoom into us live. So we're excited to be here for Manufacturing Day 2021. You know, this wouldn't be here. This wouldn't be powered if we didn't have electricity coming into our places, to your schools, to the Missouri Chamber, to the manufacturers like Boeing and Watlow and Orscheln and everyone in between. Well, how that gets here, we're going to find out directly from the producer of some of those transformers, Hitachi ABB. They're our final manufacturer to kind of put the lights on and wrap us up for the day. So when you plug in your phone and you charge it, how does that raw energy get converted into the power that you see in your household? Well, that's where Hitachi ABB Power Grid comes in. Let's find out more. Let's see inside Hitachi ABB. And then as you have questions, zoom in with the Q&A box or on Facebook Live with your comments. Let's go into Hitachi ABB now.
Hi, welcome to Manufacturing Day. I'll be your tour guide, Carter Holt. Part of our tour today will be to show you how a power distribution transformer is made. Here at our facility, we make single-phase and three-phase transformers. A transformer acts very similar as to a power breaker at your house. It helps take power from our power grid and converts it to energy that you can either use at a business, at a manufacturing place, or even your home. We have 900 employees, 750 hourly and about 150 salaried. We make of our transformers, of the single phase and three phase, we are vertically integrated, which we make about 80% of what goes into a transformer. So what you see here, we take raw steel and we'll actually bend it, form it, cut it in order to make a tank. We also take raw aluminum, paper, and/or copper as conductor to one coil. The paper you see here is a special paper meant for and designed for transformer use. It actually has glue impregnated into the paper so that when we bake it, it hardens it up so that it handles all the forces that the power grid needs in order for this unit not to fail out in the field. Here at our Jefferson City facility, we make submersibles as well as pad transformers. This submersible we make specifically for city type environments, so California, East Coast, West Coast, so that it's not visibly seen and it's underneath our infrastructure. We also make pad mount, which you will see out right next to either a fast food restaurant or on the outside of a manufacturing or even an office building. So here we have a pad mount. A pad mount allows us to keep it above ground. We put it on actually a concrete pad. And then when we ship it to a site, this whole thing is tamper-proof. So let's go out to the production floor.
Welcome to our factory. In this panorama is our coal mining department, where we have 40 plus machines that typically works roughly around the clock 5 days a week. Here we have an operator using a machine to bend flat steel for our tank manufacturing process. This is one of our mini multi-tool turret presses. It contains 30 plus dies to punch holes in steel based upon our tank design. In our steel manufacturing department, we use a combination of robotic and manual weld processes to create our tank structure for the transformer. Here's a quick view of a coil weighing machine in action. A coil contains a unique combination of paper, aluminum or copper conductor, and glue, which is wound as per our engineering design. This process step is called core coil assembly. This is where the heart of a transformer takes shape. It combines our coils with a core within a metal insulated frame. This becomes what is known as an active part. In internal assembly, we hook up the active part to the external components of a tank. This process takes skilled employees that can read wiring diagrams to produce a functioning transformer. Once a transformer passes all required tests, a certified welder welds on the tank top to create an airtight enclosure protecting the active part. Here we have an operator wiring fans and breakers into a control panel based upon customer requirements and design specifications. In final assembly, we add customer decals, warning labels, and other accessories based upon the design. Like using instructions to build a model airplane, the labels and accessories enable electricians to safely hook up the transformer into the power grid. With built-in quality, we inspect after every major production step to include final audit, which is our last step prior to shipping the transformer to our customer.
Now, I'd like to welcome Carter Holt, who you saw in the video live from ABB. He's the production manager and right around the corner, actually, around the bend from where the Missouri Chamber building is. Hey, Carter, great to have you part of Manufacturing Day.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here, Brian. Thank you very much, and happy Manufacturing Day to everybody. Hopefully you're all being safe, and happy Friday.
So, Carter, we saw a variety of different careers there. How did you get started at ABB?
I actually, I was let go from a company because they were downsizing, and I didn't quite know what I wanted to do. And I actually applied through a temporary agency, and they asked me if I wanted to become a part of a manufacturing company called ABB. I initially told them, no, I'm not really interested. I think manufacturing is boring. And they said, well, we're paying $15 an hour. So I was like, how soon can I start? I walked in, my now mentor and boss, he showed me around the plant. I instantly fell in love. It's highly intriguing. Every day is a new experience. You get to learn something new. And they take all sorts of walk of life, people with different educational backgrounds, into the fold. So it's been a great opportunity. I've been here about 6 years now.
Wow. And, we saw some of the transformation that you have on the production line. You have, those that are working with assembly and production, those that are welding, doing some of the high skilled technical work, and then engineering, just a variety of different jobs there at ABB. One of our students just posted a question, and Emily would like to know, what are some of the starting salaries for maybe your production side and then possibly engineering?
So for production, coming in with a little background, it's anywhere between $18 to $21. In some of my departments, you'll max out around $26 an hour. Sometimes 27 if you're on the second or third shift. And then if you're looking at salary positions, if you're an engineer, you're in the 80 to 100,000, depending on background and your capabilities, basically. So whether you're in mechanical, electrical, any of that. So we have about 150 salaried at our site, and we are a global business. We have sites not only in the United States, but in Europe, Asia, and Australia as well. So there's tons of opportunity, and you get to work with a lot of folks of, in different nations. I mean, I've been on calls with folks from Poland, Europe, Australia. It just depends on what's going on and what project we're working on.
Wow, that's pretty exciting. So there opportunity, if you wanted to move to a different location within Hitachi ABB, you could?
Absolutely. You apply. I mean, they even sponsor green cards or whichever. I mean, we even got folks that work for us that are from India. We have a couple gentlemen from England. We have a few folks that came from Australia that work at our Jefferson City location.
Wow. So you really could travel the world with Hitachi ABB.
Absolutely. I've been around the world twice so far.
Wow.
And I've only been here a short amount of time.
That's awesome. Well, we do have a classroom that wants to go live. Northwestern, you are in the Zoom. And why don't you go ahead and unmute and ask your question to Carter.
What is some advice that you would give to someone who would want to work at Hibachi?
Biggest advice that I would give, call us. The the worst thing you could ever do is not call or take a step forward. We're hiring. We have about 120 people, and I got a HR person sitting right next to me. So we're actually in the process of a $10 million expansion, and we've spent probably $15 million over the last 5 years with new technology for our facility. And we need we need people that want to come work here. So, you know, I would love it for anybody that's on this call to give us a ring. We'd love to have you in the door, and I'll probably see you walking around the floor.
What's the requirements?
The requirement to work for us is you have to graduate high school. You have to be at least 18.
Okay.
And then typically either you come in as a temporary employee, and then we evaluate you. In 3 to 6 months, you become a full-time employee. We train you on everything you need to do here. So whether it's winding coils, welding, we train everybody on every process that we have.
All right, we're good. Thank you.
That's it, sir. No problem. Thank you.
Hey, thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Hey, so, you know, as a high school student out there, you know, what types of, you know, professional soft skills would you encourage them to kind of really hone in on right now?
I would highly recommend learn everything you can. Come in with an open mind and really absorb everything. It'd be good to have probably some financial, you know, be able to have a budget. You gotta put money in the bank account so you could pay your bills. You know, try different things, find what works for you. Everybody has a different passion. You know, I started mine in the military and then I left, and now my passion's in manufacturing. Some people have a passion to go help others. You can be in manufacturing and you don't have to go produce something. You could be a part of our HR team. You could be sales and marketing. You know, there's a lot of different passions out there. You just got to find the right one that's for you.
Yeah, that's great. And, you know, you touched on finance. You know, one of the things that we do see is young people really need to learn how to utilize financial tools and balance that budget, you know.
Absolutely.
You're not working with mom and dad anymore and you're on your own. You got to make sure that you get your rent, your car payment, all that stuff in on time. So,
and then the only other big thing is just being able to work and talk with everyone, you know, it doesn't matter what your background is, what diversity, we're all the same, and just working well with each other. Everybody comes with a different package, and just be able to harness that as one team.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Teamwork is so critical to manufacturing.
Absolutely.
Carter, we do have a question. Vanessa wants to know, what do your products do to make electricity safe?
So first off, we're governed by the U.S. government, so Department of Energy. One, to be safe, our pad mount are all tamper proof. So meaning you'd actually have to break into it to try to get into the active electrical components. And then there's also fail safes within the unit itself. So if there's a power surge or something like that, so that it doesn't harm what's around it. So we also add locking components so that when you're playing around it, like what's in your front yard, there's a lock on it, so you just can't open it up and access it. And then in our vault style units, that they're basically go into an encasement that's in a locked room, and/or they're in a fenced-in environment.
Okay. So what is the largest transformer you guys make there in the Jeff City Hitachi plant?
Our largest is about 25 to 30,000 pounds. And to be able to frame it correctly, it's probably 8 feet wide by about 8 feet to 10 feet tall. And it's a large box, very large box.
It takes a semi to move them.
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
So as we finish up, Carter, I just want to say, what is your parting shot to students out there, and why manufacturing is a great career pathway?
Manufacturing, there's always somewhere to go, something to make, something different to learn. What I was doing 2 years ago is much different than what I'm doing today. However, it's framed within the same product. You know, there's folks that just want to come in and punch a clock and have a job. There's others that want to learn and do more. And there's always ways to make something better, to make somebody's livelihood better. And manufacturing is a different environment every day, and it's always intriguing.
Absolutely. And no better place to work than Hitachi ABB.
No, it's a great place. I absolutely love what I do.
Fantastic. Well, Carter, we can't thank you enough for being a part of Manufacturing Day 2021, and we look forward to getting some students there in the coming year when things get a little bit safer and we can do so.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for having me. You all have a great day.
Thanks, Carter. Have a good one.
You too.
That's great seeing inside how power transforms our lives every day. And if you, as you're driving around town and you're looking at the side of fast food restaurants or in subdivisions, those green transformer boxes, chances are they were produced right here in Jefferson, Missouri. So with that, I want to do a quick shout out to my friends over at Troy Buchanan in Lincoln County. They've been supporters of Manufacturing Day since the get-go, and great to have them join us in the Zoom, as well as so many other schools that have been Zooming in from Monette, Missouri to Carthage to New Madrid and everywhere in between. So before you kind of figure out what's your next thing for the day, I want to share with you a little bit of something. It was mentioned by Brewer Science and so many others. How you develop your career pathway is really up to you. But some of the engaging ways you can do that is right with internships and apprenticeship programs. Let's find out a little bit more about how you get a leg up into competition in your career with internships and apprenticeships. So it's never too early to start an internship. As soon as you're in high school, you can try looking for internships with companies in your neighborhood. You can even look for apprenticeships with companies in your neighborhood or even across the street. So Mo Intern Connect and Mo Apprentice Connect, both great portals, and we wouldn't have those portals for the state of Missouri free to use for students and manufacturers and anybody else that would like to use them if it weren't for our partnership with the Missouri Department of Higher Education and Workforce Development. Thank you for being a partner. Another strong partner with manufacturers around the state and with the Missouri Chamber of Commerce, and the reason why we're together today is through BKD. BKD is one of the prime partners that drive manufacturing in the state of Missouri because they help manufacturers get a leg up on their back office operations as well as securing their cyberspace. Let's find out a little bit more about how BKD helps Missouri manufacturing.
Throughout its history, Missouri has been a manufacturing powerhouse, stoking the engines of American growth. Missouri's manufacturers generated $40.7 billion in 2018, representing 12.8% of the state's output and employing 9.4% of the state's workforce. BKD CPAs and Advisors is proud to be a part of the success of Missouri's industrial sector. Since our founding here in Missouri nearly 100 years ago, BKD has provided manufacturers with sound financial advice and valuable resources to help them make tough business decisions. With 40 offices in 18 states, we have a large footprint, but BKD's heart remains in Missouri. Though businesses have recently faced challenges most have never seen before, Missouri's manufacturers are a bedrock of the state's economic engine. BKD is honored to support Missouri manufacturers as their trusted advisors.
Thank you, BKD, for supporting Manufacturing Day 2021 once again. And really, thank you to our manufacturing partners. You know, we started the day with Quaker PepsiCo and then moved on to Nike Air Manufacturing, then drove down the road with Toyota Missouri and shot for the stars with Boeing. Porcelain Industries put the brakes on us, and Brewer Science controls all the electrical equipment that we have, our smartphones and devices, Watlow powering our heating elements in all the products we use, and then Hitachi ABB closed us out with the power grid systems that they produce and help power our world. We're really excited to have them as all strong partners of the Missouri Chamber of Commerce and the Missouri Chamber of Commerce Manufacturing Alliance and our host sessions for Missouri Manufacturing Day 2021. This kicks off Missouri Manufacturing Month. The whole month of October, we'll have different organizations bringing live and virtual events to you from across the state, and we hope you tune into them, or if you get a chance in your neck of the woods, actually go visit them. If you missed any of the tours that we have, we'll be reposting them soon on our website, mochamber.com/MFG Day. We encourage you to rewatch this content, learn more about the amazing products that are produced in Missouri. And again, you can find that out at the missourichamber.com/Manufacturing Day webpage. Today would not be possible without our partnership and support of the National Association of Manufacturers and Missouri Enterprise, and most importantly, the Missouri Department of Elementary and Secondary Education, Office of College and Career Readiness. Special shout out to Steve Bryant at DESE for his dedication and passion in helping build a meaningful relationship with Missouri's employers and our school districts. Also, I want to thank our sponsors, BKD CPA and Advisors, Chamber Benefit Plan, and Missouri Science Technology, as well as Toyota Missouri. Our silver sponsor, Nike Air Manufacturing and Innovation, State Technical College, Whipfleet, Mueller-Prost, our bronze sponsor, Honeywell, and our supporting sponsor, the Boeing Center for Supply Chain Innovation at Washington University in Watlow. Finally, I want to thank the thousands of schools and students that have kind of zoomed in throughout today to watch the live stream. We appreciate all that you do to make this possible and joining us. I hope that you saw encourages you to consider a career in manufacturing. It's a growing industry with high-tech, clean jobs, and great salaries. And we need more Missourians to become the makers of tomorrow. And that starts with you today. I hope you all enjoyed today's program. And thank you again for joining the Missouri Chamber of Commerce 2021 Manufacturing Day.